begging for his best stuff.
The Red Sox look to a man with a rich history against the New York Yankees to stop the bleeding. Tonight, it's Pedro Martinez in a game his team desperately needs against the backdrop of a hostile Yankee Stadium.
We're not scoring the runs, and we need him to pitch very well.
From Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox and Yankees wrap up their three-game series. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. The Red Sox looking to salvage Game 3 of this three-game series, and they hope Pedro Martinez can be the stopper. He's done it so many times before. 55-18 after a Red Sox loss all time with a 2.05 ERA. 4-1 this season when he's been asked to do this, avoiding a series sweep 7-3 with a 2.76 ERA, and against the Yankees in a sweep 1-2 with a 2.01 ERA. Pedro looking for his 9th win of the year tonight as he comes in at 8-3. As we welcome in Jerry Remy. Jerry, it's been a strange couple of days for Pedro.
Yeah, he's been awfully friendly around here at Yankee Stadium, certainly with the Yankees the first day in and with the fans in the dugout. They've been taunting him, and he's been laughing back at them. And I don't know if he's trying to set somebody up, but what they need tonight is not a friendly Pedro Martinez. They need an angry Pedro Martinez, because by far this is the biggest game of the season for the Red Sox. The Red Sox lose this game tonight. They go 9 games behind the Yankees in the loss column. Not likely to catch them the rest of the season with the club they put on the field. Now, it's not just Pedro alone. He needs some help. Tim Wakefield pitched very well last night. They've got to catch the baseball. Tonight, David McCarty gets a start at first base.
A huge game for the Red Sox to go up against the rookie and Brad Halsey. We've got it next on NESN. The Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Nissan, by Coors Light, by Foxwoods Resort and Casino, by Acura, by Dunkin' Donuts, and by Southwest Airlines. And welcome to Yankee Stadium for Game 3 of this three-game series. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy, along with Eric Freed, and we welcome you as we take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Dodge. Johnny Damon leading it off in center field. Mark Bellhorn batting second at second base. David Ortiz batting third. The DH, Manny Ramirez, 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts so far in the series. Jason Varitek doing the catching with Kevin Millar in right field. David McCarty at first base. Kevin Youkilis at third. And Pokey Reese at shortstop batting ninth as the Red Sox go up against rookie Brad Halsey.
Only the 3rd start for Halsey on the season. Of course, he's replacing Kevin Brown in that starting rotation. The win coming in his first outing against the Dodgers, where in that game he only gave up 2 earned runs, but in his last outing against the Mets, he only lasted 3 1/3 innings, giving up 6 earned runs against New York. Only his 2nd full season in professional baseball. Last year, he split time between Class A Tampa and Double A Trenton, where he had very, very good numbers. The Yankee defense is brought to you by New England Toyota dealers. It'll be Alex Rodriguez at third base, Derek Jeter the shortstop. Of course, Enrique Wilson in there at second base against Pedro Martinez. Tony Clark at first, left to right, Hideki Matsui, Kenny Lofton, and Gary Sheffield. Jorge Posada doing the catching.
And the umpiring crew has Jim Wolf in behind the dish, Jim McClelland at first base, Tony Randazzo at second, and Fieldon Culberth, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SCP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, a cloud-covered Yankee Stadium to begin the evening. They tell us there is precipitation in the area. A chance for a thunderstorm at some point during the game as Johnny Damon stands in on the left side, and the first pitch of this one in there for a strike. Damon at 293 with 6 homers and 37 runs driven in.
The The Red Sox tonight from Halsey will see the fastball certainly not overpowering, a curveball, slider, and a changeup that's a little bit like a split-fingered fastball. Not quite a complete splitter, but that's how he grips it to throw his changeup.
The 2-1 to Damon. He's in the air to shallow left. Matsui was deep, so out goes Jeter, and he'll run it down. The Yankees shortstop in fair ground takes care of out number 1.
Joe Torre making comments about his starter Halsey tonight. He said that first game against the Dodgers, when he got on the team bus, he said he figured he talked to him to try to calm him down. He said he didn't need any calming down. He said he was very relaxed for a kid that had just been called up from AAA.
And down for Mark Bellhorn, getting the start at second base. A little different looking infield for the Red Sox tonight with Bellhorn at second base. Pokey Reese getting the start at short. Youkilis at third, and McCarty over at first. So really a much different looking infield, and really the biggest change, the absence of Nomar Garciaparra tonight.
Now that was a big surprise when you looked at the lineup card in this game tonight, and Nomar Garciaparra was not in the starting lineup, and that was the manager's decision.
Back goes Tony Clark into short right to take care of out number 2.
The way that he described it, he said, I have a tendency to forget that he's coming off surgery. He needs time off. Of course, the other side of that is this is just about a must-win game for the Red Sox.
You got to wonder when the right time is for time off.
I think the other change that was made tonight was kind of expected, with David McCarty getting a start at first base, a much better defensive first baseman, and of course with the left-hander going tonight.
And the hobbling of Trot Nixon lately in the left-hander going tonight, as David Ortiz stands in the DH. The Red Sox beginning today 7.5 games back at the New York Yankees. They're 8 games back in the loss column to begin the night. The Yankees have won 4 in a row, and of course the Red Sox have dropped their last 2.
They've dropped their last 2, but it feels like about 7.
The way they have lost the last 2. Ortiz takes the strike, and it's 1-2. Looks back to Jim Wolf. The 1-2. Ortiz takes ball 2. 2-2. Ortiz has hit safely in 8 straight games, and over the last 8 games batting at .424. 6 home runs in the last 8 games and 12 RBIs.
And you see that fastball here in the first inning, anywhere from 86 to 88 to 89 miles an hour. Certainly not an overpowering left-hander, a guy that needs to be on the corners to be effective.
Ortiz sends it towards the gap in left center field. It'll get down and roll to the warning track and the wall. Ortiz headed for second base. And a 2-out double, a gapper for David Ortiz.
Well, that ball there not on the corner, right down the middle of the plate, and Ortiz finds that big gap in left center field and runs it all the way out to the 399 mark. For David, this will be 30th double of the season, which is 5 in front of Manny Ramirez for the lead in the American League.
Two down, Ortiz at second base, and here's Manny Ramirez. Manny 0 for 8 in the series against the Yankees so far, looking for his first hit as he carves it foul off the right side. Overall at .333, 20 home runs and 59 runs batted in. As I mentioned, 0 for 8. He also has 3 strikeouts in the series against the Yankees. After being very hot over the weekend at Fenway against the Phillies, he was 7 for 11. Fights it off foul, and Ramirez down 0-2.
Manny upset that he missed that. A ball up and in, and you can see him scream right after that swing.
Lefty Halsey ready to work. And the 0-2 pitch. Ball 1-2 Ramirez, 1-2. The Damon to pop out to the shortstop. Mark Bellhorn popped out to the first baseman Tony Clark. David Ortiz with a double stands at second base, 2 down. Ramirez hits it in the air to left field. Matsui started back, now comes in. The swing fooled Matsui for a moment, but he recovers to make the catch. And the Red Sox are gone on the first. Yankees coming up. Red Sox unable to score in the top of the first. Yankees coming up in the bottom of the first. As we take a look at the Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by Rico. Some of the Yankees, the newer Yankees, have done very well against Pedro Martinez, including Kenny Lofton at .342 in his career. He leads it off in center. Derek Jeter at short. Gary Sheffield, .333 with 2 homers against Pedro. A-Rod at third. Matsui in left. Bernie Williams, the DH. Posada doing the catching with Clark at first. And Enrique Wilson at second base, all facing Pedro Martinez.
8-3, as you can see, the second time that Pedro's faced the Yankees this year. He had a win here at Yankee Stadium back on April 25th. That's a game the Red Sox won 2-0. 7 innings for Pedro, only 4 hits allowed.
And on the grass at third is Youkilis as Lofton lines it foul down by the tarp.
The reaction for Pedro when he took the mound, nowhere near as bad as the first time we were here at Yankee Stadium when he made that start against New York back in April.
Sounded almost louder when he headed out to warm up initially, as this one skied to center. Damon's got a beat on it, and he retires Kenny Lofton.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Lexus, and it's a bit different tonight. Kevin Youkilis at third base, Pokey Reese at shortstop, Mark Bellhorn at second, and David McCarty at first. Left to right, Ramirez, Damon, and Millar. Jason Varitek doing the catching for Pedro Martinez.
One away here in the last half of the first inning. Derek Jeter about to stand in, toting the .272 batting average. 13 home runs and 40 runs batted in. Running a hitting streak right now of 10 games. Ruled on that one.
There's a case there where Jeter's sitting on dead fastball from Pedro, and instead he gets the curveball on the first pitch.
Just a .224 hitter against Pedro Martinez. Fouled off to the right, and it's 0-2 now to Jeter. This homestand that has consisted of the Mets and Red Sox has been a good one for Derek Jeter, hitting at .500 on the homestand, 10 for 20. And a couple of home runs, he has raised that batting average now up to .272. He's at a season low 161 when his 10-game hitting streak started, and really he has been picking it up over the last month, plus 13 homers on the year. But he strikes out this time. First strikeout of the night for Pedro Martinez.
And again, he starts them with a curveball and he finishes them with a curveball. And it looked like Pedro took a little bit off this curveball to pick up the strikeout. That's 98 now on the season for Pedro. He is second in the league. Schilling and Johan Santana of Minnesota both have 100.
So 2 down for Gary Sheffield. 304, 13 homers and 53 runs batted in. And a game-winning RBI double in the 8th, as it turned out, in a 1-for-3 showing here last night as part of the Yankees win in game 2 of the series. His very good numbers against Pedro Martinez. He is riding an 8-game hitting streak coming into tonight's action. Very impressive at bat last night against Mike Timlin.
And you see a different approach from Pedro here to start this game. He generally comes out with his fastball and maybe changeups, but this inning a lot of curveballs. Another curveball here to Sheffield.
Down and away, 2-1. Sheffield rips it foul outside of third. Almost got a piece of Louis Soho. The third base coach had to do a little dance.
Yeah, Louis Soho moved quicker there than when he was playing. He didn't jump that high at any point of his major league career.
Do you think the Yankees will activate him at the end of the season?
Yeah,
they always
there's
do?
a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. He'll get a base hit someplace, the opposite field.
In a key situation. It always seemed it didn't matter where Louis Soho was. If he was the Pirates or somebody else, the Yankees would go get him for the stretch run. And Willie Randolph moving into the dugout, and Pedro Martinez has hit Gary Sheffield. And he's taking it very personally as he heads down to first base. Veritek will walk with him for a good measure.
Yeah, a little escort by Jason Veritek down the first baseline with Gary Sheffield. Pedro had thrown him nothing but off-speed pitches, curveballs and changeups, and then he zips the fastball and gets Sheffield right on the elbow or the arm. So that should get things interesting here at the Yankee Stadium very early. Wants to go inside with the fastball. No chance for Sheffield to get out of the way of that.
There's A-Rod with Sheffield at first. Remember last year, Pedro Martinez opened up an outing in which he hit Alfonso Soriano and Derek Jeter right out of the gate, sending both to the hospital on the same day. Snap throw to first, and back in time is Sheffield. If I'm not mistaken, Jerry, that was over the July 4th weekend last year.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Don. Both guys out of the game like within an inning, right?
Yeah. A-Rod at 284 in the season, 19 homers at 48 runs driven in. The breaking ball in there for a strike. He's ahead of A-Rod 1-2.
Pedro's had his way with A-Rod throughout his career. The 182 average against Pedro Martinez. He does have one home run. Sheffield may run.
Check on Sheffield back in time. McCarty holding him on. A-Rod strikes out, second strikeout of the inning for Martinez. This strikeout concludes the first. The end of one. No score from Yankee Stadium. Back at Yankee Stadium as we head to the second inning. A pretty interesting exchange between Gary Sheffield and Pedro Martinez as Martinez hit him. And in between innings, Joe Torre was out to talk to Tim McClellan.
Yeah, I don't think Torre would be talking about a warning at this point because so far nobody on the Red Sox has been hit. But there's no question in Joe's mind and in Sheffield's mind that that was an intentional attack by Pedro Martinez. You could really read Sheffield's lips. We had a chance between them to see it close up. And Sheffield pretty much telling Pedro, you don't want to do that to me. I'm telling you, you don't want to do that to me.
Field with a couple of home runs in his career off Pedro Martinez. Of course, what turned out to be the game-winning double here last night. Varitek swinging and missing and striking out to begin things here in the second inning. And a look at the reaction of Gary Sheffield.
You can see right away as soon as he gets hit, he looks out, then he starts telling him, "You don't want to do that to me. Not to me."
So we are early in this one tonight. Varitek down by way of the K for the first out here of the second inning. And here's Kevin Millar. On the ground to Jeter. 2 down.
Well, the Red Sox and NESN have teamed up to bring Sox games live in high definition to the big screen. Throughout the season, a series of Sox games will be shown live at selected showcase cinemas in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Upcoming games include July 6th and July 21st at Baltimore. Tickets are just $5 each, with a portion benefiting the Red Sox Foundation. Log on to redsox.com for more information.
2 down for David McCarty. Inserted into the Red Sox starting lineup tonight at first base. Overall, 224, 2 homers, and 9 runs batted in. On and in, Halsey falling behind now, 3-0. Halsey, the rookie, stands at 6'1", 180 pounds. The Yankees' 8th round pick in 2002 out of Houston, Texas. The strike, and it's 3-1.
He looks like he's about 16 years old, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
Very little minor league experience.
First year of professional baseball for him in the New York Penn League is in Staten Island in 2002. Last year at Tampa and a Double-A Trenton. This year in the major leagues. Brings with him into tonight's action a 1-1 record, 8.00 ERA. 3-2. Up top, and McCarty works the 2-out walk. And the first walk given up by Brad Halsey.
Number 20, Kevin Youkilis.
So 2 away, and here's the first appearance of the series for Kevin Youkilis. And 298, 3 homers and 19 runs batted in. Youkilis takes ball 1. He's got a 6-game hitting streak going. 429 over the last 6 games, but of course not in the first 2 games of this series against New York. Bellhorn getting the starts at third base tonight. Bellhorn at second base. There goes McCarty. Youkilis taking a strike. The throw from the knees of Posada is not in time. Didn't have time to get up, so he threw from the knees, and McCarty with a theft of second base.
And that surprised, I think, everybody at Yankee Stadium, including Jorge Posada. Posada never got out of his crouch. I don't think he could believe McCarty was taking off at second base. He throws from his knees, but nowhere near in time. McCarty picks up his first steal of the season and his last back in 1998.
It's been a little while. So McCarty up into scoring position with 2 down. Youkilis with a count of 1-1. Youkilis fouling it off the right side, 1-2. Against lefties, Youkilis hitting at .314 since joining the Red Sox, 11 for 35. Top, and it's 2-2 now to Youkilis. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard in center. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top half of the second inning. count. First base is open. The number 9 hitter, Pokey Reese, waiting on deck. As the Red Sox are working to the bottom of their order.
It's amazing to see a young pitcher like this with only 2 major league starts shaking off Jorge Posada.
He's ready now with the payoff pitch. Ball 4, he walks him. So back-to-back walks for Halsey with 2 outs here in the second inning.
Last time out for Halsey against the Mets, he had 5 walks in that game against the Mets and didn't last very long. 2 in this inning.
Number 3.
So here is Pokey Reese with 2 outs and 2 on here in the Boston second inning. And the strike to Pokey Reese. Reese returning to action in the first game of this series after missing 4 straight games with the left thumb injury. On the cut, it's 0-2. Reese against lefties hitting at .257. He does have a home run. McCarty at second, Youkilis at first, 2 away. Reese stays alive. He's 1 for 6 so far in this series against New York. Again, the 0-2. Reese thought about it, holds off, and it's 1-2 now to Pokey Reese.
It's that combination split change I was telling you about. It's not the grip of a split-fingered fastball, but he does spread the fingers just enough to give it that appearance. It is off speed like a changeup. Pokey Reese able to hold up on the swing.
Reese pops it up left side. Derek Jeter in on the infield grass takes care of out number 3. Red Sox strand 2. No score after an inning and a half. Bottom 2 back at Yankee Stadium. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy along with Eric Freed. Pedro Martinez in the first pitch to Hideki Matsui to begin things here in the last half of the second inning.
It's interesting, Don. Between innings again, Joe Torre was out this time talking to Wolf, the home plate umpire. And then Wolf went down and talked to Tim McCullen, who Torre had already spoken with. And the only thing we can think of up here is the possibility of maybe they wanted Pedro to remove the necklace that he has on tonight. I looked at his glove. The glove seems to be fine. There doesn't seem to be anything else shining except that necklace around his neck. But so far, there has been no movement from the umpires to do that.
Matsui taking the strike, and it's 2-2. 280, 15 homers, and 50 runs batted in. The glove seems to be uniform. The sleeves are not cut.
The glove, you can have any color glove except white or gray, and it has to be uniform in color. In other words, you can't have different color stitching on there as the color of the glove. Everything seems to be fine with that. But there's something's on Torre's mind, and he's already spoken now to 2 umpires, the first base umpire and the home plate umpire, but nothing so far has been done.
The 3-2 pitch. Matsui strikes out already, the 3rd strikeout of the night for Pedro Martinez.
And that was the changeup doing the yarn, as all three strikeouts of Pedro have been on off-speed pitches. The curveball to Jeter, a curveball to A-Rod, and now the changeup to Matsui.
Number 51.
So one away, and here's the switch hitting DH, Bernie Williams. 274, 9 homers, and 24 runs batted in for Bernie Williams. He was 0 for 4 here last night. And against Pedro, just a 190 batting average. He does have 3 home runs against Martinez. In the air to shallow right center. Out goes Bellhorn. In comes Millar, and Millar calls off Bellhorn. 2 down. Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric?
Well, the boo started early from this Yankee Stadium crowd directed at Pedro Martinez. They grew louder after he hit Sheffield in the back in the first inning. This is nothing new to Pedro. This is his 14th start here at Yankee Stadium, and he's come to expect this kind of treatment from Yankee fans.
I would say I'm a regular customer around here, and as of now, I'm actually used to New York just like any other field, and fans' reaction and stuff like that. But they also have respect for me, even though it's just like when we boo Derek Jeter in Boston. He knows that it's just about respect. It's because he's out there competing in the right way, and people will boo him, but that's actually showing him that, you know, they're looking forward to that and somebody to pick on. So I don't take this personal.
And I asked him about his behavior during the first 2 games of the series, and he says it's reverse psychology, Jerry, when he's working with the fans. They think they're getting the better of him, but he knows he's getting the better of them. At least that's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Well, all Red Sox fans care about tonight is he gets the better of the Yankees.
And the face has been as stern and as serious as always for Pedro Martinez in games in which he has pitched. As the first 2 outs of this inning, fools Posada. It's 2-1.
Fastball count 2-1, not from Pedro. Comes to the changeup again and has Posada off balance on that 2-0 pitch.
Posada has just 6 hits in his last 31 at bats. And ahead here, 3-1.
These two are not particularly fond of each other, Posada and Martinez, from last year's playoff series.
Foul and a full count now. The lasting memory of Pedro Martinez kind of pointing to his head and yelling back at Pedro, of course, Jorge Posada. And 3-2. First to contention with Pedro Martinez doing that he was meaning that I will remember that, Jorge Posada, and not that he would throw at his head. Here he walks Posada with 2 down. First walk given up by Pedro Martinez.
Number 29.
Mason Veritek alerting his middle infield as the possibility of a delay steal from Posada.
Clark in there on the left side. And it's softly outside at first. Clark getting the start at first base in all 3 games of this 3-game series. The Red Sox have not had to deal with Jason Giambi, who is out now with what they're calling parasites. And today, the Yankees clubhouse, another Yankee has now got parasites, apparently. Kevin Brown. So it is spreading, and they're trying to find out the reason.
Well, you know what? Tony Clark has made a couple of defensive plays in this series that Giambi would not have made. Is it the same parasite? Does it go from person to person, or they multiply?
I know nothing about parasites, so I can't answer that adequately. To right center field and hit a ton. That is up, and that is gone. A 2-run home run with 2 outs for Tony Clark, his 6th of the year, and has put the New York Yankees on top 2-0.
Tony Clark, because it's hard to believe that Tony Clark would get around on Pedro's fastball. It is a changeup, and Clark loses it deep into right center field. What a series he's had.
Enrique Wilson, in his first start of the series, the curtain call for Tony Clark. It appeared at the end of his only season with the Red Sox, Tony may be headed for retirement. He's back in a big way here at the Yankees, a year removed from Boston.
Enrique Wilson in there tonight only because he hits .455 in his career against Pedro. There was a time last year where they led Enrique Wilson off against Pedro Martinez in a game.
To first, and McCarty will take it alone to conclude the second inning. But a two-run home run from Tony Clark as the Yankees on top 2-0. Top half of the third inning back at Yankee Stadium. Tony Clark, the difference in this one right now, a two-run home run in the last half of the second inning. Johnny Damon carves it foul. Johnny's down 1-2 to begin things here in the third.
That was a changeup that Pedro threw to Clark for the home run, which is a little bit surprising. Tony's got that big swing, and easily could be tied up with fastballs up and in. Instead, they go to the changeup down and away, and he's able to get it out of the ballpark.
Damon down the right field line and out of play. Broke his bat on that long foul ball, so Damon will go get a new one. And of course, with the two solo home runs in the first game of the series to get the Red Sox off to the fast start. Last night an early lead for the Red Sox. Tonight it is the Yankees on top first, on top 2-0. Straight away on Johnny Damon. A 1-2 pitch. Holds off, and it's 2-2. Halsey with 2 outs last inning walked back-to-back hitters. The 7-8 hitters for the Red Sox, McCarty and Youkilis. They get Pokey Reese to pop out to end the inning. Now they climb the ladder on Damon, who strikes out to begin the third. Second strikeout for Brad Halsey.
Again, not an overpowering fastball, but he elevates, gets it above the belt, just underneath the letters, and picks up the strikeout. His second of the game against Johnny Damon. Get Veritek the strikeout on a fastball back in the second.
So one away for Mark Bellhorn, who popped out to Tony Clark his first time up. Just wrapping up the month of June with a .287 batting average, the highest batting average for him in any month this season. Drew 13 walks in the month of June after drawing 22 in April and 20 in May. So the walk total was down, but the batting average was up for Mark Bellhorn in the month of June.
Each time the Red Sox win at Fenway Park, Hood donates $1,500 to the Hood Home Team Advantage charity program. The program benefits children's hospitals throughout New England. It's another reason you can feel good about Hood.
Halsey's 1-2. Bounces away, and it's 2-2 now to Mark Bellhorn. Over the last 33 games, Bellhorn has hit up over 300, hitting at .302. Side, and Jeter rounding behind it and throwing out Bellhorn. 2 down.
Well, make your plans to join us for the 2005 Red Sox Fantasy Camp, January 30th through February 6th. At the Sox Spring Training Home in Fort Myers, campers receive instruction from Collier Stremski, Dwight Evans, Jim Rice, Frank Malzone, Louis Tiant, and other former Red Sox players and coaches. Every participant will also play in a game at Fenway next summer. For more information, call 1-800-336-2267.
2 down for David Ortiz. Possesses the only Red Sox hit so far. Halsey going through the Red Sox order for the second time. Ortiz with a 2-out double back in the first inning. Making his third start in the major leagues, 1-1 with an 8.00 earned run average coming into tonight's action. And stake to the 2-0 advantage on the 2-run home run by Tony Clark in the last half of the second inning. The second home run of the series for Tony and the 6th home run of the year for the Yankees first baseman. 3-1 to David Ortiz. Manny Ramirez waiting on deck. With a hit in the first for Ortiz, he's now hit safely in 9 straight games. To right field, Sheffield hit it back, front of the track to make the catch. In order go the Red Sox in the top of the third through 2.5. Yankees on top 2-0. Last half of the third inning back at Yankee Stadium. Kenny Lofton leading it off as Youkilis is in on the grass at third base. Lofton with a count of 1-1. Flied out to center field his first time up. Lofton has not struck out in his last 56 plate appearances. 3-1. The count to the leadoff hitter for the Yankees. Button at it and dropping it foul down the third baseline. A full count now.
That's a good play for a guy that bunts and relies on speed, because 3-1, you're pretty much guaranteed from Pedro in that situation to get a fastball, and all bunters want to bunt a fastball. Tried to dent it down that third baseline, bunted a foul, still has another chance.
Second walk of the night given up by Pedro Martinez. Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Dodd, by Miller Beer, and by New England Toyota dealers. Well, for the first time tonight, the Yankees have the lead man on, and trouble, and Kenny Lofton, who's got lots of speed, as he'll gain his lead. Here's Derek Jeter, a strikeout victim, swinging back in the first inning. Martinez tonight in search of his 9th win of the year, coming in at 8-3 in his 17th start. And a strike. Jeter getting the arms out of the way, and it's 0-2. The league leaders are brought to you by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Boston Red Sox. In the category highest batting average during the month of June, Ivan Rodriguez 500, but then Derek Jeter 396. Von Rodriguez, 43 hits in 22 games in the month. 43 for 86.
Saw Hank Blaylock's name on that list. Hank Blaylock all of a sudden is tied with Ortiz for home runs in the American League. He's got 21.
And his Texas Rangers with a 1.5 lead over the Oakland A's. A 4-game lead now over Anaheim.
What a first half story that has been for the Texas Rangers.
Line and snared at second by Bellhorn, and they are able to double off Kenny Lofton at first base.
Line drive directly at Bellhorn, and he quickly gets that release to first base to get Kenny Lofton. Lofton gets into his secondary lead, a few more steps on contact, and then he helps by diving back in. That gives a free lane for Bellhorn to throw to McCarty to get that double play. Well, she couldn't go back standing up, but certainly that's a nice feeling for an infielder when you're throwing to first and that guy goes back diving in. You at least can see the first baseman and not hit the base runner in the back.
Lofton erased, as does Derek Jeter. 2 down. Here's Gary Sheffield, who wow, what a swing that was.
Sheffield, he tried to hit that one to Queens.
As a result of this, in his first at bat, in the air to left field, Manny Ramirez has it sized up. And gone are the Yankees in the third. We played 3 from Yankee Stadium. New York on top 2-0. Pedro Martinez getting Gary Sheffield to fly out to left field to end last inning. He's given up just 1 hit so far tonight. It was the 2-run home run by Tony Clark in the second. Red Sox dealing with a 2-run deficit as Manny Ramirez leads it off here in the top of the 4th inning.
That swing by Sheffield, that first swing from Pedro, was designed to hit one completely out of Yankee Stadium. Upset about being hit. Next pitch was a cut fastball away and a little fly ball to left field.
Manny Ramirez with 20 home runs on the season behind Ortiz and Blaylock by 1, and tied with Paul Konerko of the Chicago White Sox. And a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Ramirez. 0-for-9 in the series is Manny Ramirez. Through and into left field. The first hit of the series for Manny Ramirez, and the Red Sox for the first time tonight have the lead runner on.
Well, the second time through for the Red Sox against Halsey, and see how they handle it. Didn't do too well in the third with a 1-2-3 inning, but Ramirez picks up his first base hit of the series with the ground ball between third and short. Ever since we showed you that Sports Illustrated article on Manny Ramirez, he's had 1 hit since that time.
And he held on at first by Tony Clark. And Jason Varitek, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And look at that Sports Illustrated cover. And some newspapers enjoying the first 2 games here in New York, the Daily News and the Post.
I didn't see the Post today, but I did see the Daily News. Cowboy Oops. They've been having a ball here in New York.
Not been a lot of fun to be on the other side.
Yeah, they get this one station here where they have this talk show that goes on every night on television. wanted to jump through the screen last night. Not just because, you know, the way the game, but with the things the guy was saying made no sense at all. But it was fact, you know.
Did you call in? Did you?
No, I just, it was driving me crazy.
Varitek down 1-2.
The guy didn't even know. He didn't even know half of the pitching staff of the New York Yankees. All right, he didn't even know that.
And he's here in New York.
But he's a total expert.
Halsey with the 1-2 pitch to Jason Varitek. Popped up, back comes Posada, racing back, but won't have a play. About 4 rows deep and out of his reach. Varitek so far 0 for 6 in the series. Maravelli getting the start in last night's game. Varitek coming in late in the game. The 1-2 will have to wait as they check on Ramirez at first base. Halsey has given up 2 hits tonight, a double to David Ortiz in the first. Danny Ramirez with a single this inning. Yeah, Varitek strikes out again. 2 strikeouts tonight for Jason Varitek, 1 away.
Twice now Varitek has struck out against Halsey on the fastball. At 67 now on the season for Jason Varitek.
Right fielder, Pedro Martinez.
So 1 out. Ramirez still at first, and here's Kevin Millar, grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Millar has now hit safely in 5 straight games. Over the last 14 games, hitting at .316. Cued off the end of the bat. Halsey off the mound to play it, and Millar is retired for out number 2. Up to second base goes Ramirez, with now 2 down in the inning. It's time now for the Aflac trivia question. Aflac! And our question tonight: who are the 3 Red Sox pitchers with 13+ strikeouts in one game versus the Yankees? The answer for you in the next half inning. There's David McCarty, who walked in the second inning, getting his second look at Halsey. This is down and in for ball 1.
Now I know one of them because I did the game, and it was one of the best games I've ever seen pitched here at Yankee Stadium.
Strike, and it's 1-1 now to McCarty. McCarty now 1 for his last 20 as he stands in on the right side with a count of 1-1. To center field, Kenny Lofton drifting back and under. Makes the catch to retire the Red Sox. Boston spanning Ramirez at second. 3.5 done. New York on top 2-0. Bottom of the 4th inning back at Yankee Stadium, and the 50th pitch of the night from Pedro Martinez, fouled off by Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod struck out swinging back in the first inning. One of 3 strikeouts tonight for Pedro. And he's ahead of Alex Rodriguez, 0-2. Chase 1-2 now to A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, Hideki Matsui, and Bernie Williams expected here in the last half of the 4th inning. Waves at that pitch, fooled, and strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. 4 strikeouts now for Pedro. It's time now for the answer to our half-black trivia question from an inning ago. The question was, were the only 3 Red Sox pitchers with 13 or more strikeouts in one game versus the Yankees? Pedro Martinez, who's done it twice, Roger Clemens, and Joe Wood. Pedro striking out 17 Yankees in a 3-1 win September 10th of '99, allowing only a home run to Chili Davis. He struck out 13 Yankees on May 30th, 2001 in a 3-0 win. As we flash back, this is '99. I think this is the game you were talking about, Jerry.
That's one of the best games I've ever seen anybody throw. He gave up that home run to Chili Davis, and after that, there was no chance for Yankee hitters in that game.
Roger Clemens fanned 13 Yankees September 30th of '87. And the last guy on that list, Joe Wood, fanned 13 New York Islanders October 3rd of 1911. Strike to Matsui, and it's 2-2 now to the Yankees left fielder.
In regular season play, Matsui now 0 for 14 against Pedro.
Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pedro Martinez, 5 in all.
Got him on a changeup back in the 2nd inning. This time a cut fastball to pick up the outside corner, and just a very defensive swing here by Matsui, just trying to foul it off. See the little spin on it, the cut fastball.
So 2 strikeouts tonight for Alex Rodriguez, 2 strikeouts tonight for Hideki Matsui. Pedro's got 5 as Bernie Williams takes strike 1. Flied out to right field back in the 2nd inning.
Pedro turned around and Youkilis at third base and told him to come in even with the bag. He was afraid Bernie might drop one down that third base line. Now the bench is moving Youkilis back.
Strike, and it's 1-2 now to Bernie Williams. Pedro Martinez trying to strike out the side ahead of Williams. 1-2. Missing off the outside edge that time. 2-2.
Tried to cut fastball again, tried to pick up the outside corner and just missed.
Williams gets a piece to stay alive. And Pedro tonight has struck out 5. He has walked 2 and hit a batter. After walking Jorge Posada with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, Tony Clark hit a 2-run home run. And that is the difference in this one. Williams strikes out Pedro Martinez, strikes out the side. 6 strikeouts in all for Pedro. Through 4. New York on top 2-0. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy along with Eric Freed back at Yankee Stadium. Glad you've joined us tonight. Evan Youkilis leading off here in the top half of the 5th inning. Russ Ken is our producer tonight. Our director is Mike Naracci. Associate producer is Greg Petranzio. The Red Sox trailing 2-0 as they bat in the 5th. Youkilis walking his first time up in the 2nd inning. 2 walks relinquished tonight by Brad Halsey. Right center field over is Gary Sheffield. 1 down.
sweepstakes. And for more details, stay tuned.
You really want to read that copy, too. If you don't have it, there's not much you can do about it.
That's a great copy, and Red Sox fans will get it in. You can win Green Monster seat tickets this season courtesy of Exxon. Fill up twice at participating Exxon. Pick up a Green Monster sweepstakes envelope. Enclose your 2 receipts. Then mail them in. 100 lucky fans will win 2 tickets each. Of course, the more you enter, the better chance you have of winning, which makes sense.
Better late than never. 1-2 to Pokey Reese. Halsey has retired 4 Red Sox in a row and really has pitched very well here tonight into the 5th. Next Reese up, and it's 2-2. Just his 3rd major league start. Reese hits it hard. Diving at 3rd is Rodriguez, who gets up and throws out Pokey Reese. A lot of people wondered how Alex Rodriguez would adjust to 3rd. He's done just fine.
Yeah, I'd say he's just fine. I mean, this is taking a double away from Pokey Reese. This ball hit really hard by Reese on that 3rd base line, and he looks a little bit like Greg Nettles making this play down there, diving down that line, and a strong throw across the diamond to get Pokey by plenty. He's learned how to set up as a 3rd baseman, quick reactions, that quick first step. It's amazing how times change and how things change so quickly in this game. Last time we were at Yankee Stadium, they were booing Jeter, they were booing A-Rod.
Of course, the Red Sox came in here and swept the Yankees, taking 6 out of 7 in the first 7 games in April between the Red Sox and the Yankees. It's been a different story here at the end of June and now the beginning of July. The Yankees taking the first 2 games of this series on top tonight, 2-0. 2-2 now to Johnny Damon.
And this young left-hander, who is certainly not overpowering, is only allowed 2 hits to the Red Sox.
Damon strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. 4th strikeout for Halsey. Red Sox retired in order. Halfway through this one, the Yankees on top 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning back at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees on top 2-0. Pedro Martinez fresh off an inning in which he struck out the side in order. A-Rod, Hideki Matsui, Bernie Williams all down by way of the K. The 6th time that Pedro Martinez has struck out the side this season. Posada walked his first time up. Pedro has walked 2 tonight. Jorge Posada and Kenny Lofton. Strike, and it's 2-1. Posada's was big because with 2 outs after Posada walked, Tony Clark hit the 2-run home run, which is the difference in this one. And Tony Clark waits on deck for the Yankees here in the last half of the 5th inning.
That's the only hit that Pedro Martinez has allowed, a changeup that Tony Clark hit for his 6th home run of the season.
Full count to Posada. Posada fouling it up into the upper deck above us. Posada walking 48 times this season, more than he has struck out, striking out 40 times. And he hits hits it high and deep to right field. That will get up and into the top deck. Posada's 10th home run of the year puts the Yankees on top 3-0.
Looked like a cut fastball Posada got here on the 3-2 count from Pedro. Down and in, right into the power of Jorge Posada. And you know that after what happened last year in the playoffs, that has to feel good for Posada. Up a deck here at Yankee Stadium. 2 hits, 2 home runs. Pedro has now allowed 15 home runs. 14 home runs on the season.
A strike to Tony Clark, and it's 1-1. Posada jumping into double figures now in home runs on the season with 10. He finished last year with 30 home runs. Two-run home run tonight for Tony Clark, a solo shot for Jorge Posada, and the Yankees have amassed a 3-0 lead. And the strike 3 call to Tony Clark, 7th strikeout for Pedro Martinez. And let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric?
Well, much has been made about the emotional connection between Jorge Posada and Pedro Martinez. Game 3 in the playoffs last year. But when it comes to the head-to-head matchups on the field, things are starting to turn to Posada's favor. Last year, Posada hit 4 of 8 in the regular season with 2 home runs, 2 of 6 in the playoffs. For the years leading up to that, from 98 to 2002, Posada was 5 of 39 with 26 strikeouts against Pedro. That's a 125 average. So far this season, 1 for 3 with 2 walks on the season, including that long home run.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. A leadoff home run for Posada in this inning. In there for a strike. And that is pretty amazing. 5 for 39 with the 26 strikeouts. 98 through 2002. And this year 1 for 3 with 2 walks and the home run off Pedro Martinez. To Enrique Wilson, and it evens up now at 2-2. Wilson grounding out to first base. Handled by David McCarty, 3 unassisted back in the 2nd inning. Left field, Manny ranging over towards left center. Backed up a little bit to haul it in for the inning's 2nd out. And it's back up to the top of the order for the Yankees. Kenny Lofton has flied out to center field and walked. This time after walking, he was raced on the line out by Derek Jeter that turned into a double play.
And Youkilis way in at third base with 2 outs. Probably a good 10 feet in on that third base bag on the grass.
Popped up. Pokey Reese on the run into foul ground. Can he make the catch as he tumbles into the seats? Does he have it?
Yes, he does.
He does, making the catch. Holding on to the baseball fielder culprit over to check it out, and Pokey Reese with another magical play. Top half of the 6th inning. A great catch by Pokey Reese leading into the first row of seats here at Yankee Stadium to end last inning.
Now 2 things. He'll kind of catch his ball with 2 hands. As you can see him hold the ball in the glove once he gets it. Now he could have dropped that thing 7 times before the umpire got there. But to nobody, none of those fans indicated he did drop it. Terrific play by Pokey Reese. And he's lucky he didn't get hurt. He went hard into those stands trying to make that play.
Mike Bellhorn leading it off here in the top half of the 6th inning. Round 1 and 2. Foul tipping that into Posada's mitt. Bellhorn 0 for 2 tonight. A pop out to first, a ground out to shortstop.
Now for me, Don, this is a critical inning for the Red Sox. Got to get some runs here in the 6th, because then you're talking about that Yankee bullpen from the 7th on.
Bellhorn strikes out. Halsey struck out Damon to close the 5th. He opens the 6th with a strikeout of Mark Bellhorn. 5 strikeouts for Halsey.
5 strikeouts. He had 4 in his last outing against the Mets, so this is a new career high for Halsey as he goes upstairs again with the fastball to pick up the strikeout. Not overpowering, but just enough out of the strike zone, so there's no contact from Bellhorn.
He's retired 7 in a row and 11 out of the last 12 as he's really been in a groove tonight, giving up just 2 hits. David Ortiz with a double in the 1st inning. Manny Ramirez with a single in the 4th.
I'll tell you what, they couldn't have got a better start out of Kevin Brown to this point in the game.
And on the hands and fouled off. 1-1 to David Ortiz. Halsey, an 8th round pick, 246th overall in the 2002 draft by the Yankees, but to the major leagues very quickly. The University of Texas pitched in the 2002 College World Series. Now on the left field line, Matsui was over towards left center, still running, and he cannot make the catch. It's a fair ball, and Ortiz will cruise into second base. Standing at second, Matsui had to run for what seemed like forever from left center field to the line, and he can't come up with it.
Now he's playing Ortiz slightly to pull and very deep, and you could tell as soon as there was contact that he was not comfortable at all going after that ball, and then once he got close to the line there, he just kind of shied off a little bit. Ball bounces in fair territory and up in the stands for the ground rule double. Might have nicked his glove.
They charge him with an error. So an error charged to Matsui. Not a double for David Ortiz, who stands at second base. And Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach for the Yankees, out there talking to Brad Halsey with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by Subaru, by LoJack, and by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, I think the official scorer is going to review that one more time, and he may make a different decision on that. That's a tough error to be given Matsui as far as he had to go to make that play.
And they appear to be discussing it in the back of the press box right now. 1 out, runner at second, Manny Ramirez.
This is where they got the scorer. You know, he's up on this platform like Judge Judy. It's so weird looking. You know, now he's moved down and he's trying to just get another replay of it.
And the discussions continue back there as several people have become involved. 1-0. Ramirez swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. I guess.
He's back up in his Judge Judy position now. And he's changing
it, yeah, to a 2-base hit for David Ortiz. Well, they do indeed take the error away, so the second double of the night now for David Ortiz. To center field. Lofton racing back at the track, at the wall. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Manny Ramirez, his 21st of the year. The Red Sox right back in it now, trailing by a run. It's 3-2 New York.
Don, I mentioned this is a critical inning for the Red Sox because you've got this kid now for the 3rd time of the night. and you got that bullpen of the Yankees waiting on you. Manny knew right away that that was going.
So his 21st of the year, equaling the output of David Ortiz, who also has 21 atop the American League. Posada out there talking to Halsey. And action in the Yankees bullpen, Paul Quantrill.
He has not been throwing all that long. That's why you see the long delay with Posada going out to talk to his young left-hander. And now they're going to have more guys come out, and here comes Torrey.
So Halsey gives him 5 1/3 before the double by Ortiz and the 2-run home run by Manny Ramirez. And this Yankee Stadium crowd pleased with the effort of their young rookie in his 3rd major league start. And a quality start at that, as he will head off. It's a new game now. The Red Sox trail by a run. It's 3-2 New York. Back at Yankee Stadium, Manny Ramirez with his 21st home run of the year has brought the Red Sox back within a run.
Manny got a breaking ball, stayed back beautifully on it, and straight away center field off the backdrop. Over that 408. Lofton running out of real estate, and the Red Sox now within 1.
New pitcher on after Brad Halsey gives the Yankees 5 1/3 is Paul Quantrill.
League leading 42nd appearance for Quantrill, his 2nd of this series. Pitched an inning in a 3rd the other night against the Red Sox, gave up a couple of hits and did have a strikeout.
Varitek turning around now to bat from the left side against the right-handed pitcher. Brad Halsey tonight had struck out Varitek twice. Fouled off. 2-1. Varitek 271 left-handed, right-handed at 306. Most of the home runs coming left-handed. To short right field. Out goes Enrique Wilson. In comes Sheffield. Sheffield makes the catch for out number 2.
You mentioned Don the other night about Quantrill, how he likes to work. Last year he made 89 appearances for the Dodgers and led the major leagues, making his 42nd tonight, which also leads the American League so far this season. Signed a 2-year contract with New York, plus an option year, club's option.
2 away for Kevin Millar. 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out twice. Paul Quantrill, now 35 years of age. To right center field, over goes Gary Sheffield to make the catch, and the Red Sox have got a 2-run shot from Manny Ramirez. Has them back within 1. New York on top 3-2. Bottom of the 6th inning back at Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox trailing by a run. The Yankees on top 3-2. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy, along with Eric Fried, as we head to the last of the 6th. Derek Jeter, Gary Sheffield, and Alex Rodriguez to bat here in the last half of the 6th. Jeter 0 for 2 against Pedro Martinez tonight, striking out in the 1st and lining out into a double play in the 3rd inning. The pitching line is brought to you by Nissan. 83 pitches so far tonight for Pedro. 3 runs on 2 home runs. A 2-run shot from Tony Clark, a solo shot for Jorge Posada. Hit hard and through the Red Sox left side. Derek Jeter on to begin things here in the last of the 6th. This game summary is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. The home runs, the story here off Pedro Martinez. The 2-run shot for Tony Clark, his 6th of the year, and then Jorge Posada able to come up with his 10th, and then Manny Ramirez most recently with his 21st home run, the 2-run shot. It's a 3-2 game down. The The Yankees getting the lead runner on here in the last half of the 6th inning. Sheffield hit by a Pedro Martinez pitch in the 1st inning. And then flied out to left field his last time up. Strike, and it's 1-1.
That's the latest stage of this game now. When you look at the Red Sox bullpen, they're without Scott Williamson in this game tonight. That strained elbow. He was back in Boston today to get an MRI. And it's before game time, I think still debating whether he was going to have to go on a DL or not.
Fooled him on that pitch, and it's 1-2.
Back-to-back changeups from Pedro to Sheffield. Sheffield geared in on the fastball, one of the best fastball hitters in the game, and back-to-back changeups to quickly get ahead of him. 1-2.
There are guys short in the bullpen tonight. Mike Timlin working last night. He is eligible, or I should say available, to be used tonight. Terry Francona saying before the game. And Pedro Martinez working here into the last half of the 6th inning. Away, and it's 2-2. Barry Sheffield, now 35 years of age. Check on Jeter. He's got to scamper back to the bag at first.
8 steals for Derek Jeter. He's been caught 3 times.
West Gary Sheffield, the nephew of Dwight Gooden. Popped up. Foul ground, third base for Youkilis. And then the first out of the inning.
For every run of the Red Sox catch stealing this season on NESN, you have a chance to win a LoJack stolen vehicle recovery system. Log on to NESN.com, enter the date, opponent, and runner's name for your chance to win in the LoJack caught stealing sweepstakes.
So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Alex Rodriguez, who's done the same thing twice tonight. That strikeout against Pedro Martinez. They struck out in the 1st, and they did it again in the 4th inning. To right field down the line. Millar heading towards the corner, and he will make the running catch. Back to the bag at first goes Jeter. Nice catch by Millar down into that right field corner. And near the 3:14 marker, Alex Rodriguez retired.
My first thought when that ball left the bat, because it's so short down in that right field corner, that it had a chance to get out. It was not hit all that well. And then Millar really had to cover a lot of ground. That ball slicing away from him, and he does make the catch going into the corner. Jeter was just about to second base, and he had to hustle quickly to get back to first. Every ball that goes down that line is similar to Fenway in left field. You know, it's not hit that well, but it has a chance to get out of here.
So Jeter was at first with nobody out. He's still there with 2 outs in the inning for Hideki Matsui.
And certainly now Jeter with the green light. If he feels he can get a jump with 2 outs, he'll be going.
Matsui has struck out twice tonight against Pedro Martinez. 0 for 2.
It hasn't looked good either, and either at bat tonight. Got him on a changeup in the 2nd, and then a cut fastball that was on the outside corner in the 4th inning.
Red Sox outfield playing straight away for Matsui. again for Jeter. A swing and a miss from Matsui, 1-1.
Seems like a lot of the swings Matsui's taking tonight are on his heels. It's a fastball from Pedro Martinez, and Matsui on his heels taking that kind of swing. Very unusual for him.
Strike, and it's 1-2 now to Matsui, who has already struck out twice tonight against Pedro and has 2 strikes to him.
Red Sox could pitch out here on the 1-2 count.
Grounded towards Reese at short. He will throw to first base, and the put out there of Matsui to end the inning. So leadoff hit by Jeter wasted. We have played 6 full from New York. Yankees on top 3-2.
I just pitch with what I have, and when I have to click and throw 95, 94, I would do that. I would do that if I have to, only if I see myself in a situation. But I want to stretch my career a little bit, and I'm not trying to actually let it all go and every pitch that comes up.
When asked how long he'll pitch, he said he does not envision himself pitching to the age of 40. He'll be 33 in October.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. David McCarty leading it off, and McCarty quickly down 0-2. McCarty tonight walking in the 2nd inning, flying out to center field in the 4th inning.
And to me, Don, in this inning is where you start considering using maybe some of your pinch hitters. You got Nomar on the bench, you got Nixon on the bench.
When you get into that time of the game, you're into this very good Yankees bullpen, and you hate to wait around till the very end because you know you're going to see Mariano Rivera again.
Yeah, you probably, if Quantrill makes it through this inning, you're probably going to see Gordon and Rivera.
Gordon looked outstanding last night. Cardi surveying the bat. Thought he may have fractured it, but after further review, not a broken bat. 2-2. Red Sox have lost 4 of their last 5 series. And they're trying to salvage the 3rd game of this 3-game series against New York. Loss tonight would put the Red Sox 8.5 back. McCarty sends it to center field. On the run is lofted in and out of the glove. Onto the warning track. McCarty running to second base, and he stands at second to begin things here in the 7th inning.
Now there's a big-time break for the Red Sox. That should have been the first out of the 7th inning. Kenny Lofton had the glove on it. Even though he had to go away, still a ball he should have handled. Puts the glove up, and it bounces right off the heel of the glove and out. And Paul Quantrill can't believe it.
So a double credited to David McCarty, and the 5th Red Sox hit, Kevin Youkilis.
Now that's a double, but that is a ball that Kenny Lofton could have had.
Well, the Red Sox will try to take advantage of this break here in the 7th inning. As Youkilis lines it into left field, a base hit. McCarty will be stopped at 3rd, bobbled for a moment by Matsui. And McCarty had already been stopped by Dale Swaim, and at first base with his first hit of the night is Youkilis. And all of a sudden, the Red Sox have runners at the corners.
Well, Youkilis there, not trying to move the ball the other way. He's pulling the ball. Little bobble here by Matsui, but the runner had already been stopped and then started again by Swaim. But it's too late. McCarty couldn't go anywhere. And Dale saw that bobble. That's when he started to wave him on again. But I think McCarty made the right choice by staying home. Nobody out.
Meanwhile, Stottlemyre makes his way to the mound to talk to Paul Quantrill. Quantrill coming on last inning in relief of the Yankee starter Brad Halsey. with further action in the bullpen. Felix Heredia. The Yankees getting 5 1/3 out of their starter Halsey. 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 5.
Heredia coming off maybe the best game of the year for him last night against Boston. With the bases loaded, retired all 3 batters he faced. And the reason he's up, you got Damon on deck, and of course Ortiz.
First, Pokey Reese makes his way to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. And the number 9 spot in the Boston order. He's popped out to shortstop. He's grounded out to third base. On the ground, Jeter to his left, touches second and fires on to first. The Yankees will take that, but in from third comes McCarty with the game's tying run, and the Red Sox have come back from the 3-run deficit to tie the score at 3.
Well, I guess good for both sides. I mean, the Red Sox do tie the score, but the Yankees get the double play. This had potential to be a very big inning for the Red Sox. Instead, they get the tying run home, but the Yankees have 2 quick outs. And out comes Joe Torre again with Damon due up.
So Quantrill charged with a run here on 2 hits in the inning that has tied the score. And with Johnny Damon coming up, Felix Heredia will be coming in. The pitching change from Yankee Stadium. They are still in the midst of the top of the 7th inning and now tied at 3.
All tied at 3 now at Yankee Stadium, and a ball that Kenny Lofton could have made a play on to start this inning off David McCarty ends up allowing the Red Sox to tie the score. Had it in the glove and it bounces right out, and McCarty was awarded a double for that. The Red Sox eventually score the run on the ground ball double play out by Pokey Reese.
New pitcher on for New York, Felix Heredia.
20th appearance for Heredia, and of course we remember his 19th very well. Bases loaded, retired all 3 Red Sox batters, including a strikeout. The Red Sox did not score.
The 8-year-old from the Dominican Republic now resides in Miami, Florida, dealing with Johnny Damon. And 2 outs and a run in here in the top half of the 7th inning. While Quantrill in an inning and a third, giving him 2 hits and a run to tie the score. Did not walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out. Johnny Damon 0 for 3 tonight. Heredia coming into the 7th inning last night and retiring Damon, Bellhorn, and Ortiz in his inning of work. Ahead of Damon, 1 and 2. Bellhorn waiting on deck. Inside, and Damon jumping back out of the way.
Other than last night, Heredia has not had a good year at all for the Yankees. Spent some time on the save list. Does not have very good numbers, but he did look good last night.
Now his 2nd season in New York. Named off waivers by the Yankees from the Reds last season. Came up first as a member of the Florida Marlins in 1996. Spent time with the Marlins, the Cubs, the Toronto Blue Jays, Cincinnati, and New York last year, and back again this year. And hits Johnny Damon, and he's down to first base with 2 down.
They're trying to get Damon on a breaking ball, and it did nothing. It just stayed flat and hit Damon right off the elbow. It's one of those that just sends a tingling feeling all the way down through your fingers. Tried to snap off the curveball, nothing happens, except that he hits Damon.
So Johnny at first base with 2 down, and here is Mark Bellhorn, 0 for 3. He has popped out to first, grounded out to short, and struck out swinging. And again, another check on Johnny Damon. The Red Sox making 2 errors last night. The Red Sox have been charged with 67 errors, trailing only Detroit with 69. And the ball that Kenny Lofton could have caught out in center field looms large here. And the break for the Red Sox. To start the inning, David McCarty was at second base. A single by Youkilis, and then Pokey Reese grounding into the double play with runners at the corners to tie the score. Damon at first, 2 down. Elmore finally sees a pitch and flies to right center field. Lofton there, and he makes the catch this time to end the inning. The Red Sox get a run at 7th inning stretch time, and we're tied at 3. Last of the 7th inning, Pedro Martinez, and the Red Sox now tied 3-3 into the last of the 7th. Pedro will deal with Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, and Tony Clark expected in the inning. And the complexion of this one has changed over the last 2 innings. The Red Sox getting 2 runs in the 6th on the 2-run shot by Ramirez. And then McCarty scoring in the top half of this inning as Pokey Reese grounding into the double play. The player profile is brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network.
Pedro Martinez tonight, with the exception of the 2 home runs, has been outstanding in this ball game, and I don't want to hear about any pitch count in this game tonight. This is a must-win for the Red Sox, a must-win. You go along with Pedro as long as he has the stuff to get these guys out. 94 pitches to this point.
But you didn't want to hear about the pitch count.
I don't want to hear about a pitch count tonight. You're talking about maybe being 8.5 back, 9 in the loss column.
Bernie Williams, Posada, and Clark to face Pedro Martinez here in the last half of the 7th inning. Bernie Williams 0 for 2 tonight. He has flied to right and struck out swinging. Back to Pedro, is able to snare it and throw out Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams, first pitch hitting right back up the middle. One nice big high bounce. Now, no play is easy for a pitcher because they're so close, but I guess that's the kind they would enjoy the most. One that bounces high and right up in that glove, so you don't have to bend down. And they bend down. That seems like that's when they get in a lot of trouble.
Now Jorge Posada, who has been on base twice tonight against Pedro, he walked in the 2nd and hit a solo home run in the 5th. The home run for Posada was his 10th of the season. And one of 2 home runs given up by Martinez tonight. The other belonging to Tony Clark, who waits on deck. Pedro falling behind Posada, 3-0.
Heads up here for Posada now on the 3-0 count. Pedro knows that there's a possibility he'll be swinging.
He takes ball 4. Second time Posada has walked tonight. And the 3rd walk given up by Pedro Martinez. Last time out against the Phillies, walking only 2 in 7 innings. As he has walked 3 tonight. And here is Tony Clark, who after the last time Jorge Posada walked, hit a 2-run home run. Down the left field line and bending foul. Tony Clark against his old team, the Red Sox, hitting 2 home runs. It went in the first game, and this one here in the third game. In there for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Tony Clark. It off hard and above us into the upper deck.
See there too, trying to go upstairs to get the fastball by Clark. It was a changeup that Tony hit with a home run back in the second inning. That time they tried to go upstairs. Clark, a very good low ball hitter.
Chase, 1-2.
Didn't miss by very much, apparently just off the outside corner.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Clark strikes out for the second time tonight. It's strikeout number 8 for Pedro, and there's 2 down.
Now there's the changeup again, but this time a better location. It was down more than the one he hit for a home run. The ball almost never really was a strike. I think it was foul tip too, wasn't it? Veritek caught it before it hit the ground.
So 2 down in the inning, and Posada still at first base. Enrique Wilson has done very well against Pedro Martinez, has not tonight. He is 0 for 2. Pedro starting off ahead again. He's been ahead of everybody in the inning with the exception of Posada. He walked on 4 pitches. Pedro tonight through 6 2/3 innings has given up just 3 hits to the Yankees. Slashed foul off the left side. It's 1-2 now to Enrique Wilson. Martinez 10-8 all time against the Yankees at a 2.76 earned run average. 25 regular season starts against New York. Broken bat, soft liner out of the reach of Bellhorn into right. Posada up to second as Millar comes up with it quickly. And a base hit for Enrique Wilson on the broken back soft line drive, and 2 on with 2 outs now.
Now you got to figure somewhere along the line that Enrique Wilson's going to get at least 1 hit against Pedro, and this time it's a broken bat base. It shatters the bat, but the line drive just goes to the right of Mark Bellhorn. Posada was going to head to third base, but he just kind of cruised into second. You see the glove coming off the hand of Bellhorn.
For whatever reason, it didn't look like Posada was running very hard.
No, it didn't. And, I thought for sure it was going to be a first and third situation. There's 2 outs. Posada, you can see there, just saying, well, you know, second base is fine with me.
So Posada at second, Wilson at first, 2 down. Here's Kenny Lofton. Lofton 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. After flying out to center, walking in the third, and then fouling out to the shortstop in the fifth, and a great catch by Pokey Reese, leaning into the stands to make the catch. Popped up into shallow left. In comes Ramirez, and Manny makes the catch to end the inning. We have played 7 from Yankee Stadium as Pedro Martinez points to the sky. We're tied at 3. Back at Yankee Stadium, now tied at 3. It appears Pedro Martinez is done after 110 pitches, and we saw the point to the sky. And has been congratulated by his teammates as he gives the Red Sox 7. Let's take a look at what's on tap, brought to you by Heineken. Red Sox off to Atlanta after the game tonight. UPN 38 was the first one. NESN outside of Boston. Saturday on NESN. CBS 4 on Sunday. And then Tuesday through Thursday against Oakland. David Ortiz skies one to deep right field. Back goes Sheffield at the wall. Now coming in. And he makes the catch. The recovery for Sheffield, who first thought he was going to have to go to the wall, then got back there and realized that it was in front of him, coming back to make the catch.
You know, very seldom in Yankee Stadium do you see a breeze make a difference on a fly ball because it's so high here. But that ball was hit so high by Ortiz, it pushed it back. Now you see the adjustment made by Sheffield, and he makes a pretty good play out of it. Sheffield was the most surprised guy in the ballpark, but he got back to that warning track and took a look up to see that baseball well to his right.
Well, the lefty Heredia is able to get David Ortiz for the first out of the 8th. And Joe Torre out to get him with the pitching change here in the top half of the 8th inning with now 1 down. A step aside from Yankee Stadium, tied at 3. New Yankee pitcher coming on. Back at Yankee Stadium, tied at 3 with 1 away here in the 8th inning. Felix Heredia leaving after 2/3 of an inning. And on is Tom Gordon.
Tom Gordon made his 39th appearance last night, and he picked up the win against the Red Sox. His second win. Perfect 8th inning. He had 2 strikeouts.
Heredia working 2/3 of an inning. He hit a batter, Johnny Damon, in the 7th inning. There's Manny Ramirez, 2 for 3 tonight. His single in the 4th, his 2-run home run in the 6th. Now has 21 round trippers on the season. Saw some pretty good velocity last night from Tom Gordon as well. Really became a very hot commodity once again in the middle of last year when teams were lining up for his services. Stayed with the White Sox throughout the season and made 66 relief appearances for Chicago. And a strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Ramirez's 2-run home run in the 6th came after a double by David Ortiz. At the time brought the Red Sox back within a run. He scored another run, a single run in the 7th. And we are tied 3-3 here into the 8th.
Yeah, that obviously changed some momentum in this game for the Red Sox. They've been sleepwalking through it offensively until that home run by Ramirez.
All off the right side, and it's 1-2 to Manning. And Pedro Martinez apparently done tonight. Keith Polk up in the Red Sox bullpen. Pedro Martinez throwing 110 pitches tonight over 7 innings. Strikes out, foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. Gordon comes on to strike out Ramirez, 2 down.
And challenge time again from Gordon. 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Ramirez for the strikeout. Maybe his numbers last night. Gordon's had an outstanding season. 43 strikeouts now in 45 innings. Opponents have hit 162 against Gordon.
Jason Varitek 0 for 3 tonight. A pair of strikeouts and a fly out to right. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Yankees pitching tonight for a total of 6 strikeouts. The starter, Brad Halsey, had 5 over 5 1/3. Lined and off the glove, and he stays with it to make the catch. Alex Rodriguez hitting it up in the air and then catching it. Route number 3. Down in order go the Red Sox, tied at 3. Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Yankee Stadium as Pedro Martinez is indeed done after 110 pitches. And if you think back to spring training on a comment that Pedro Martinez made, I should pitch a complete game with 110 pitches. There's no need to go farther than that. If anyone asks for more than that, damn, I'm only human. With 120 or 130 pitches, you're looking at arm surgery by the end of the year. And tonight, Jerry, exactly 110 pitches from Pedro Martinez.
At 110, Pedro points to the sky, and that has become the sign that he is done for the night.
In most instances.
And I think the Yankees are pretty happy to see that right now. Keith Folk coming into the ball game for the 35th time this year. He hasn't worked since Sunday against Philadelphia. An inning in that game, a couple of hits, and had a couple of strikeouts. Well rested in here in the 8th inning.
Derek Jeter, Gary Sheffield, A-Rod. Anybody gets on Matsui will have a chance here in the last half of the 8th. Jeter 1 for 3 tonight. A single his last time up. One of only 4 hits surrendered by Pedro Martinez. And with 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, the 2 home runs. He walked 3, struck out 8, and hit a batter hitting Sheffield back in the first inning. Jeter down 0-2. Strides on the grass to haul it in for out number 1. Let's check in with Eric Freed. Eric?
I'm with our Ford fans of the game, and it's been tough to keep Katie O'Connor and her friends from the Naval Academy down in their seats here because Katie's about the biggest Sox fan I've ever seen. This is your first Sox-Yankee game, but your lifetime Sox fan game.
Yep, I had 2 goals in life, to be on SportsCenter and to go to Red Sox-Yankees games.
What about Nesson? I thought we were talking about that.
Well, yeah, but I got to be on SportsCenter, too. Come on.
You said you wanted to be on the same telecast with Jerry Remy.
I know, because I love your Rem dog. You're great.
She's from Durham, Connecticut, and when Keith Folk came out, hold that up. The baseball he warmed up with.
Yeah, Keith, he threw me his ball.
That's great.
Yeah, and I caught it because my brother's a pitcher, so we practice catching all the time.
And your brother, who's 10 years old, made the sign here. I don't know if you could see that. It took me a while to figure it out. If you go that way, you could figure it out. And it's apropos here at Yankee Stadium. Thank you to Liz and Kendra. You're converting these guys into Sox fans, aren't you?
Oh, well, we're actually making flashcards for Kendra because she wants to make sure she learns everybody.
Good luck, guys, and best of luck at the Naval Academy.
Thank you so much. Go Sox!
Katie and our friends are Ford fans of the game. Coming up on the Olympia Sports Boston Globe pregame report tomorrow. We'll hear from Earl Snyder from the Paw Sox and also a little grandstanding with Angry Bill, Don.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. 1 away. Sheffield is down 0-2. Folks been ahead of the first 2 hitters that he has faced. And Sheffield looking bad on that swing, but getting a piece to stay alive. And not to argue that fact is going to be Terry Francona.
I didn't even think that was close to being a foul ball. Sheffield immediately pointed down toward the ground, but it looked like that ball just bounced from the dirt. Take one more look from the side. I think that was close, Don.
Tough to tell there, but I think you're right. I don't think you got a piece of that. Pop up again. Bellhorn out there, almost the identical play, and there's 2 down. Jeter and Sheffield gone the same way. Bellhorn up to the task both times.
Well, get the gloves of award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 800-984-5335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily.
So 2 down, and it brings up A-Rod 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts against Pedro Martinez, and then fly to the track in right. A-Rod with 19 home runs on the season. After hitting 47 of them last year. And a strike, and it's 1-1. With 57 home runs a year before in Texas in 2002. 1-2 to Alex Rodriguez. Mariano Rivera up in the bullpen. Back to Folk. On to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th. We're headed for the 9th, tied at 3. Top of the 9th inning. Kevin Millard lead it off against Tom Gordon, and Millard hits it high in the air down the left field line. It is bending and foul. Backing out of play, Matsui on the move to the line. And the race is on for that foul ball. Millard out after that first pitch. 0 for 3 tonight. 2 groundouts and a fly out for Millard. After Millard, David McCarty scheduled, and then Kevin Youkilis. As Millard has 2 hits and 9 at-bats against Tom Gordon in his career. Gordon came on to get the final 2 outs of last inning, striking out Manny Ramirez and getting Jason Varitek to line out to third. Millard hits it in the air to left field. Incoming is Matsui, and he makes the catch for the first out of the 9th. Well, this game summary is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. And for the Red Sox tonight, Manny Ramirez with a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. As Pokey Reese grounded into a double play to score David McCarty in the 7th to tie the score at 3. And David Ortiz with a couple doubles tonight, a 2 for 4 showing. Manny also 2 for 4 tonight. McCarty 1 for 2 with a walk, and out after that first pitch. Two to McCarty.
They had Rivera loosing in the bullpen. That was in case the Yankees got a run. They did not score, so Gordon starts off the 9th inning.
Gordon, a member of the Red Sox, 1996 through 1999. In his first season with the New York Yankees. McCarty staying alive still, 0-2.
At that point of his career when he was at the Red Sox, nobody was sure. Was he a starting pitcher? Was he a guy out of the bullpen? And then eventually the Red Sox made him a closer, and it was an excellent closer.
46 saves in 1998 in the Red Sox uniform for Tom Gordon. McCarty hits it high in the air to center field. Lofton ranging back, but there, and he makes the catch, 2 down.
Well, if it wasn't for the ball that bounced out of the glove of Kenny Lofton a couple of innings ago, you may be looking at the Red Sox last chance in this game right now.
So both Millard and McCarty putting the ball in the air here in the 9th. 2 down. Kevin Youkilis during his first action of the series tonight, getting the start at third base. And a single his last time up. He walked in the 2nd, so he's been on base twice tonight. Line and Jeter had to elevate to bring it in, but he does. And the Red Sox go in order in the ninth. It's on to the bottom of the ninth. Tied at 3 from Yankee Stadium. Last half of the ninth inning back at Yankee Stadium, tied at 3. Matsui to lead it off against Keith Polk. Matsui lines it into center field, a base hit. And the Yankees have the lead runner on in the last half of the ninth.
Well, Matsui had looked terrible tonight against Pedro Martinez. The first pitch he sees from Keith Polk lines it up the middle for the base hit. First pitch fastball away. Matsui hooks it up the middle for the hit. Matsui was one happy to see Pedro lead this game.
Bernie Williams has flied to right, struck out swinging and grounded back to the mound. 0 for 3 tonight. He too glad to see Pedro Martinez out. Youkilis in at third base, anticipating the bunt. Bernie's not bunting, and he lifts it in the air to center field. Damon back, and he'll make the catch. Back to the bag at first goes Matsui with 1 down.
Now, Bernie had pretty good numbers against Falk. He's 5 for 18 in his career with a home run, so Joe Torre letting him swing away. Plus, they're working toward the bottom of that batting order.
Here comes Posada on base 3 times tonight. He has walked twice, wrapped around a solo home run in the 5th.
Posada 1 for 12 against Falk.
Field straight away and deep for the Red Sox, especially Malari in right. The 1-0 from Folk. A strike to Posada, and it's 1-1.
Back-to-back changeups from Folk.
Folk came on in the 8th, retired the Yankees in order in the 8th. Jeter, Sheffield, and Rodriguez down in order. Posada fouls it down the left field line.
Change-up in the back of Posada's mind. He saw back-to-back change-ups. He's late on that fastball from Keith Polk. Probably telling himself, stay back, and then he's a little bit late on that fastball.
Posada with a very defensive swing. Now down 1-2.
Up and in, gets a piece of the bat, foul tip. And off the mask of Wolf, the home plate umpire. It's Randy Wolf's brother, right?
Yes. Yeah, Rex looks a lot like him, actually.
Yep. Randy Wolf, of course, pitched against the Red Sox at Fenway. Philadelphia Phillies.
Becky Matsui, the leadoff single, standing at first. Bernie Williams is flied to center. 1 on, 1 out. And the 1-2. 2-2.
This is going to be very interesting, Don, because you've already got Folk into his 2nd inning in this game. Rivera is warming in their bullpen. He also can give Torre 2 innings in a game if he has to.
We've seen an inning and 2/3 relief from Tom Gordon. And 2-2 again. Posada lines it down the right field line. It is a fair ball, and one hops the wall. Matsui is headed for third. He'll be stopped there on the double by Posada. And the winning run now just 90 feet away with one out.
Now, Folk doesn't make mistakes with that changeup very often, but this changeup stays up in the zone. And Posada, who was telling himself to stay back, gets one that he can handle. All the way down in the corner, one big bounce up to Millar, but Posada into second base. So the Yankees with second and third, one out, first base open, Tony Clark coming to the plate. And let's see what they do with Clark. Do they walk him or pitch to him?
Clark has had an outstanding series against the Red Sox.
They're going to walk him, I believe, Don.
And Veritek standing straight up.
Now, on deck is Enrique Wilson. I'm sure we might see Ruben Sierra as a pinch hitter.
Not seen Sierra in the series yet.
Sierra more likely to get the ball in the air than Enrique Wilson.
Three of the intentional walk to Tony Clark. And down to first will go Clark to load him up. As anticipated, Ruben Sierra grabbing a bat for the first time in the series. A bat for Enrique Wilson had been 1-for-3 tonight. 2 for 8 against Folk in his career.
And as a pinch hitter this season, 3 for 11 for Sierra. Francona telling his infield to play in.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner at third base for New York.
Bubba Crosby.
Matsui coming out, and Crosby will run. He represents the winning run at third base right now.
See, now the Red Sox pull the infield in, and the outfield has to come in. Everybody shallow in that Red Sox outfield.
The Red Sox coming into Yankee Stadium in April and sweeping the New York Yankees. The Yankees are trying to return the favor. Red Sox hoping for other ideas and trying to salvage this third game of this 3-game series and prevent falling 8.5 games behind the New York Yankees. Sierra at .261, 7 homers and 30 runs batted in. And all the way around are the Red Sox. Sierra takes ball 1.
What Sierra's looking for here is something he can lift in the air. He has that uppercut swing.
Crosby with his walking lead off third base as Folk stares in to find out what he'll throw. Ready now with the 1-0. A strike to Sierra.
Pinpoint control here by Folk as he goes away with the fastball, knee-high outside corner for the strike. That's not a pitch you want to swing at unless you get 2 strikes on you.
The 1-1. Sierra swings and misses as they elevate that time, and it's 1-2.
Mention the uppercut swing, very tough to get at a high fastball like that. Folk has not yet thrown Sierra a changeup.
They go up again, and Sierra strikes out. Second straight time they go up top, and this one strikes out Sierra, the pinch hitter, 2 down in the 9th.
Well, there was certainly a plan there. We mentioned Sierra, uppercut swing. Guys with uppercut swings cannot handle high fastballs, and he swung twice at balls that were well out of the strike zone. Now the Red Sox have to be careful with Lofton because he's liable to drop down a bunt. Youkilis in tight at third base.
Everybody else now backed up. Lofton 0 for 3 tonight with a walk. Youkilis in on the grass as ball 1 to Lofton.
Eddie Lofton 2 for 11 in his career against Folk. There's Youkilis on that grass.
The potential winning run 90 feet away, and Bubba Crosby. The 1-0. Lofton hits the ground ball softly to Bellhorn. He throws to first. Dug out at first by McCarty. And the Red Sox get out of the jam in the 9th inning. We head to the 10th, tied at 3.
Now back at Yankee Stadium, all tied at 3, and the Red Sox in a major jam with bases loaded and 1 out. But Keith Folk, the high fastball up and out of the zone to get Ruben Sierra for a key strikeout, and then the ground ball to second base to Bellhorn and bounces the throw to first base, but McCarty comes up with it. And the Red Sox and Keith Folk get out of a huge jam in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Bubba Crosby stays in the game and is in center field now. Kenny Lofton coming out of the game. Sierra, who pinch hit and struck out, takes over in left for Matsui. And at second base is Miguel Cairo as the Yankees hit for Enrique Wilson, and the new New York pitcher is Mariano Rivera.
Rivera picked up a save last night against the Red Sox, his 29th of the season, the American League leading 29th.
Okie Reese, Johnny Damon, and Mark Bellhorn expected in the inning. Tom Gordon was in there for an inning and 2/3. He retired all 5 Red Sox that he faced, including striking out Manny Ramirez.
Here's where you would think now the advantage in the pitching department goes to the Yankees. Rivera in the first of what, he could probably pitch 2 innings in this game. He's done that many times. Folk has already worked 2 innings. Timlin loosening in the bullpen.
And the Red Sox down a pitcher tonight without Scott Williamson as Reese fouls it off the right side. Here's Mike Timlin. Going 2 innings and getting out of an enormous jam there in the bottom of the 9th inning to preserve the 3-3 tie into the 10th. Reese ahead 3-1. And a strike and a full count now.
Taken all the way, too, on the 3-1 count, which he should be doing.
And the center fielder in the right center, Crosby for Reese to go the opposite way, a full count. Reese strikes out to open up the 10th inning.
With every batter Rivera has faced in the Red Sox so far in this series, he struck out. Upstairs with the fastball, once again the cut fastball for the strikeout.
Down for Johnny Damon. 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts. He's also been hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss. Both the Red Sox and the Yankees have 6 hits each. Yankees employing their 5th pitcher of the night in Mariano Rivera.
Down with Pokey Reese base leading off the inning. Wouldn't you have to think that the injuries to maybe Nomar and Nixon a little bit more serious?
Yes, I would agree. To second, Cairo throws out Damon, 2 down. Thought we may have seen them perhaps even a little earlier at times in this game, and we did not.
Nixon, of course, last night we could see him hobbling around with that quad problem. Francona did say that he would play tomorrow night in Atlanta. And he said for Nomar, I was just giving him a night off because he'd been using him too much. But it looked like that might have been an ideal time for a pinch hitter.
A very good thing, as it turns out, for the Red Sox there in the bottom of the 9th inning that they had David McCarty at first base to dig that out. Otherwise, it would have ended right there. And a low throw from Mark Bellhorn from second base.
Even Trot looked a little surprised sitting on that bench that he didn't hit. He's got that bat right next to him, ready to go. Batting gloves on.
Two down, top of the 10th. 0-2 to Bellhorn. Struck him out looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Rivera. Down in order go the Red Sox. On to the bottom of the 10th. Tied at 3. A pretty impressive inning from Mariano Rivera on for the 10th. The 2 strikeouts and the ground out, making quick work of the Red Sox in the 10th. It's on to the bottom of the 10th. The pitcher on for Boston, Mike Timlin.
Timlin making his 37th appearance, a record of 4-3. Timlin was in that ball game last night. An inning in that game, a couple of hits, 2 earned runs. Of course, he was on the mound when that ball was hit to David Ortiz at first base. And you see Jeter 1 for 9, Sheffield 1 for 7. A-Rod with the most success, 3 for 9 and a home run.
Jeter, Sheffield, Rodriguez. Jeter 1 for 4 tonight with a single in the 6th inning. Folk going 2 innings tonight for the Red Sox, giving up 2 hits, no runs, get out of the major jam. The bases loaded with 1 out in the 9th. Unintentional walk, he struck out 1. Mike Timlin, the 3rd Boston pitcher of the night. There's pitch to Jeter. Takes it for a strike as he pulls it back out of the way.
Youkless down at third base, about even with the bag and close to the bag, trying to prevent the double.
Jeter fouling it, and it's 0-2. The Yankees had him loaded with 1 down last inning when the pinch hitter Sierra struck out, and then Lofton grounded out to second base. The Yankees left him loaded. Two now to Derek Jeter. The Yankees have left 7 men on base, including the bases loaded. Last inning, while the Red Sox tonight have stranded 5 through the first 10 innings. Two and 2 to Jeter. Martinez 7 innings tonight, giving up the 3 runs that the Yankees have on 2 home runs. Clark a 2-run shot, Posada a solo home run. Jeter is down 0-2. It's a full count now. Gary Sheffield waiting on deck. grounds it foul off himself and towards Youkilis at third base. Two balls, two strikes. Jeter leading things off here in the last half of the 10th. Timlin hits Jeter, and he's down to first base. A payoff pitch hitting him, and the Yankees have the lead runner on.
Timlin quickly got ahead in the count against Jeter, runs the count to 3-2, and then gets Jeter right off that left shoulder. So like in the ninth, the leadoff man on for the Yankees.
Sheffield 0 for 3, hit by a pitch back in the first inning by Pedro Martinez.
Just remember the great battle last night between Gary Sheffield and Mike Timlin.
A 10-pitch at bat, and Sheffield winning the battle. Will throw over to first base as Jeter back to the bag. Sheffield batting now. Alex Rodriguez waiting on deck. Sheffield chops it to third. Youkilis to second for one. The throw to first in time. Around the horn they go on the double play, 2 down.
And Youkilis, who was slid over very close to the line. That ground ball from Sheffield right at him. Didn't even hardly have to move. Maybe one step to his right. Backing off the bag is Bellhorn, and plenty of time to turn over the double play. So not nearly as long a battle that time between Timlin and Sheffield, and that time Timlin wins it.
Second double play of the night for the Red Sox. At one in the third, they get one here in the 10th. Base is empty for A-Rod. And a strike. Timlin ahead. Rodriguez has struck out twice tonight. He's flying to the track in right and grounded back to the mound. Rodriguez lines it into left field. A base hit headed for the corner. Ramirez back there to dig it out as Rodriguez into second base for the 2-out double. A potential winning run in scoring position with 2 down.
Well, it's not going to be Matsui they're facing now. He has been taken out of the game for a pinch runner to be Bubba Crosby instead of Matsui.
And Francona headed to the mound. As Embry is up in the Red Sox bullpen. And they will go to get him as Timlin will depart with 2 down here in the last half of the 10th. Alex Rodriguez standing at second base. We're tied at 3 in the 10th from Yankee Stadium.
Well, back at Yankee Stadium, a lot of players being used by both managers. The only player left on the bench for Joe Torre would be Flaherty. And he is not going to come up to pinch hit for Crosby. Folk has been used. Timlin has been used. And now Embry has been used.
And Embry, the new pitcher on for the Red Sox here in the 10th.
And Embry worked also in game last night, a third of an inning, giving up a hit. He'll be facing the left-hander Bubba Crosby instead of Matsui, who he faced last night.
Bubba Crosby in his second stint with the New York Yankees coming up from Columbus as Mike Timlin leaves after 2/3 of an inning, still responsible for Alex Rodriguez, who stands at second base. The potential winning run in scoring position here in the last of the 10th, tied at 3. And here's Crosby. His number is 212, 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. Crosby, a big lead out there at second base for Rodriguez, who is moving over toward shortstop.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibilities if they give him enough of a lead that he thinks he can steal and maybe try to draw a bad throw from Veritek. A risky play, but we've seen it done before.
A 1-0. Crosby fouls it off the left side, backing out of play, 1-1. Crosby started the year of the Yankees making the opening day roster. He's been up and down twice. Last time called up on June 15th to replace right-hander Kevin Brown, who had been placed on the disabled list, and Crosby back up with the Yankees again. Embry's 1-1. Backs him off, and it's 2-1.
The last thing Embry wants to do is hit Crosby, because you got Bernie Williams, the switch hitter, on deck. He's got to go right after this left-hander. Not bad, though, getting him backing off like that. That may have an influence on the next couple of pitches.
Alex Rodriguez with his lead off second. There goes A-Rod for third. The pitch is high, and to third base goes Alex Rodriguez. It seemed like he was timing him, and he finally gets over to third base.
Yeah, well, you know, Embry was paying really no attention to him at all. His focus is on the guy at the plate, and this is exactly what we talked about. You know, he goes hoping to draw maybe a bad throw. Well, Veritek didn't take the bait, but they did open up a spot at third base. You see how Youkilis has to go to the bag.
And 3-1 to Crosby. Ball 4, and he walks him, and we will see Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams from the right side of the plate, a .284 hitter this season with 5 of his 9 home runs.
And Veritek talking things over with Jim Wolf. As Bernie Williams standing in 0 for 4 tonight. Embry walking the first batter that he faces. A potential winning run just 90 feet away for the second straight inning for the Yankees. The runner at first is off, and Bernie Williams ducking back out of the way. Up to second is Bubba Crosby.
Well, now you've got to decide, who do you want to face? Bernie Williams against Embry or Posada? Posada with a higher batting average, over 300 from the right side.
First base open as they pitch to Bernie Williams. The 1-0 pitch to Williams. Lined and caught at third base by Youkilis. And the Red Sox out of another jam. The Yankees strand 2 more in scoring position. It's on to the 11th, tied at 3. After the game for New England's Red Sox postgame show, first is W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, then Granite City Electric. Extra Innings Extra. After the last inning, the action is just beginning. And starting next week, the pregame show will be from Yawkey Way outside Fenway Park live. And look forward to that next week as the Red Sox will host the Oakland A's.
debut after the All-Star break will be Rem Dogs on Yorkie Way, a barbecue pit that I'm going to have out there, right where that pregame show is going to be originating from.
Are you going to be cooking?
I might do a little cooking out there, a little bit like Boog's Barbecue out there in Baltimore. Can't wait for that.
Mariano Rivera back out on the mound here to work the 11th inning, his second inning of relief. And he's got to face David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, and Jason Varitek. The expected trio here in the top half of the 11th. Strike to David Ortiz. Ortiz with a double in the first, a double in the sixth, 2 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, Red Sox have not had a hit since back in the 7th inning. There have been all kind of chances for the Yankees, but we move on with that 3-3 score.
Grounded foul over by the Yankees dugout, and it's 0-2. The Yankees have stranded 5 men over the last 2 innings, and 2 straight innings in which they had the potential winning run 90 feet away.
I don't think we'll see Torrey as a pinch hitter in this game.
Straightens up Ortiz, and it's 1-2. But that is just a prop then.
Just a prop. Joe doesn't do a lot of moving around in that dugout. A lot of sitting.
At top, and it's 2-2 now to Ortiz. The Yankees have used Brad Halsey, their starter, 5 1/3. Quantrill an inning into third. Felix Heredia 2/3 of an inning. Tom Gordon an inning and 2/3. Rivera out there for his second inning of relief. Ortiz lines it foul.
That's a cut fastball, the trademark pitch of Mariano Rivera, and fortunately Ortiz didn't break his bat. Usually when he gets in on left-handers like that, you're looking for a new piece of lumber.
The 2-2 fouled off again. The starter for the Yankees tonight, Brad Halsey, gave up 2 runs over 5 1/3. Paul Quantrill was charged with a run. Well, the Red Sox tonight getting 7 innings, 110 pitches from Pedro Martinez. Saw Folk for 2, Timlin 2/3, and Embry 1/3 so far. Full count to David Ortiz. Manny Ramirez waiting on deck. Ortiz grounds it through the left side into left field for a base hit. Out after the 3-2 pitch, and with Rodriguez guarding the line, he finds its way through the left side, and the lead man on for the Red Sox.
Everything had been inside to Ortiz until that last pitch, which was away from Mariano Rivera, and David just reaches out and pops that ball to the opposite field for the base hit. But maybe we see a pinch runner for Ortiz at first base.
The first hit for the Red Sox since the 7th inning. David Ortiz at first, and here's Manny Ramirez. And he hits one into center field. It falls for a base hit. Ortiz is headed for third. Crosby's throw is going to be not in time, and it gets away briefly as it's handled by Rivera backing up, and Ramirez is able to move up to second base on the throw to third.
Jumping on the first pitch. The throw from Crosby is gone. It looks like it hits David Ortiz as it gets to third base. And unfortunately for the Yankees, Rivera was backing up the play. Here's the throw. No, it just gets by. A-Rod, but Rivera is there to back up the play. Ortiz going as hard as he can, and that head-first slide. Now Ortiz will be pinch run for at third base by Kapler.
David Ortiz, who had the tough day yesterday, and Gabe Kapler taking over there at third base to run for him. And a strikeout with the bases loaded, and then, of course, the very costly error that led to 2 runs and involved here in the 11th inning in a 3-3 ball game. Kapler runs for him at third base. Ramirez at second. They will intentionally walk Jason Varitek with first base open.
Varitek 4 for 15 in his career off Rivera. Millar up next. Millar's had pretty good success against him. 3 for 9 with a home run.
So the first 2 reach. Kapler at third, Ramirez at second base. And the intentional walk to Jason Varitek complete.
Well, for the Yankees, Gordon has been in the game. Quantrill has been in the game. Rivera in there now, and Heredia. Only Sturts and Prinz left. The Red Sox, Kapler just now used as a pinch runner, and soon we're going to see Nixon, I think, hitting from McCarty. We'll see how this inning goes.
Kevin Millar batting with the bases loaded in the top half of the 11th inning, tied at 3. The infield in all the way around for New York. Millar 0 for 4 tonight. Ball 1 to Millar. He's grounded out twice, flied out twice. He is 3 for 9 in his career against Mariano Rivera, including a home run. Strike, and it's 1-1 now to Millar.
Yankees playing the infield in, outfield in a normal deep position.
Rivera's 1-1. Millar grounds it to third. It's A-Rod with it. The throw to the plate, and the tag for one back to third, and Ramirez is out. A double play.
I don't believe it. No, he's not going to call a triple play.
A-Rod is furious, yelling at fielded Culbreth at third base. This will bring Torrey out. Now Francona comes out.
Try to sort this thing out. It looked to me like a triple play unless A-Rod never tagged third base, because it became a force play at home. Not a force play, a tag play at home.
It appears he does.
So there's one. Okay, the second one comes at home plate on a tag. There's 2, and now 3 when they go back to third base to get Ramirez.
That should be.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not Ramirez. I'm sorry. Manny was forced out at third base.
Correct.
So it's 2 outs.
Correct.
Manny was forced out at third base. That's why the argument stopped so quickly.
I lost you there for a second, but we got it back.
Yeah.
So runners at first and second. McCarty hits for himself with 2 down in the inning. Foul off the right side, 0-2. Varitek at second base. Millar on at first, and McCarty down 0-2. They're trying to get the attention out there of Sierra.
Again, Trot Nixon just in that dugout with a bat in his hand. Nixon and 3 for 8 in his career against Rivera.
Outfield straight away. The infield now backed up, and McCarty backs out. McCarty hits it high in the air to left, but Sierra back there waiting. And the Yankees get out of the jam in the top of the 11th inning. We head for the last of the 11th, tied at 3.
Well, a big play by A-Rod with Red Sox bases loaded, nobody out. A little confusion, I think, in a few areas thinking maybe it's 3, but it's not, because the ground ball, A-Rod will tag third. That eliminates Ramirez. That's the first out. He has to come home. Now it becomes a tag play for Posada. Posada tags him out. Then he looks up and he sees Manny going to third, so he throws to third. Now they think they got the triple play. It took a little while for all of us to get it, but once third base umpire Culbreth explained it to everybody that was the force out at third, then everybody quieted down and calmed down. 1, 2, yeah, but wait a minute. There's a force play. That's Ramirez. He's out. Oh, you're right. Never mind.
So it is on to the last of the 11th. The Red Sox had the bases loaded with nobody out and could not score for the second night in a row. They did it in the 7th inning last night. They do it here in the top half of the 11th tonight. We're tied at 3, last of the 11th. Posada turns around to bat from the right side against the left-hander Alan Embry. To right field down the line. Over goes Millar towards the corner. Back to the track to make the catch for the first out.
That'll be it. If the Red Sox can get out of this bottom of the 11th, that should be it for Rivera. They have right-handed action in their bullpen. Probably Tanyan Sturtz, I would think. Yeah, it's Tanyan Sturtz.
So 1 away for Tony Clark. Clark with a 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning. Pedro Martinez. And struck out twice and was intentionally walked his last time up. Embry's 1-0. Fouled off, 1-1. Away, 2-1. Ruben Sierra, who pinch hit back in the 9th inning and struck out, waits on deck with Tony Clark batting now.
Both teams with bases loaded opportunities late in the game in extra innings.
Clark lifts it in the air to shallow right. Up goes McCarty. And he'll make the catch 2 down. So 2 quick outs here for Alan Embry in the last half of the 11th inning. And Ruben Sierra making his way to the plate. Sierra hit a home run over the weekend for New York. His 7th home run of the year is a 3-run shot in Saturday's Game 2 win of the series against the Mets. And a strikeout for him tonight, pinch hitting in the 9th.
Not too many of these folks at Yankee Stadium have left this place.
Sierra Lifts it to short right. McCarty out. In comes Millar. Millar's there, and it's a 1-2-3 11th inning for Alan Embry. We're headed for the 12th, tied at 3 from Yankee Stadium. After 2 innings is done of relief tonight, pitching the 10th and the 11th. We head to the 12th. The new pitcher, Worcester's own Tanyan Sturtz.
And Tanyan Sturtz coming over from the Dodgers back on May 15th. Was assigned to AAA Columbus and then called up to the Yankees. He's made 1 start for the Yankees, 8 appearances overall for Sturtz, and has a record of 2-0. A lot of different teams: the Cubs, the Rangers, the White Sox, the Devil Rays, and last year the Toronto Blue Jays.
And the Devil Rays' most valuable player back in 2001. And he led the club that year with 11 wins. And both teams with lots of chances here tonight. And the extra frames really sets the ninth for New York. New York leaving 5 men on between the 9th and the 10th. Both in the 9th and the 10th, leaving the potential winning run 90 feet away at third base. Retiring the Yankees in order in the last of the 11th, and it's now on to the 12th. Kevin Youkilis to lead it off against Tanyan Sturtz. Youkilis 1 for 3 with a walk. One coming over to the Yankees from the Dodgers, starting in AAA Columbus. He was brought up on May 16th. Did he go? Yes, he did. Says Tim McClellan. First base umpire Youkilis down 0-2. Eight major league seasons for Tanyan Sturtz. And it's still 0-2 to Youkilis. Also saw time at AAA for the Dodgers this season in Las Vegas, which in 36 innings they're giving up 10 earned runs. On base twice tonight, a walk in the 2nd, a single in the 7th inning. This one gets away, and it's 1-2. The Yankees outfield defense straight away with Kevin Youkilis batting down. Pokey Reese waiting on deck. Sliced foul off the right side. Two and two now to Youkilis. Red Sox beginning the night 7.5 games behind the Yankees for the first time in 2004. And for the first time since August 20th of last year. A full count down to Youkilis. He's down 0-2.
Sturtz thought maybe he had strike 3 called high.
Ball 4 and a pretty good at bat for Youkilis. The Red Sox have the lead runner on here in the 12th inning. He was down 0-2, but does what he is known for. He gets on here on the walk.
And Pokey Reese, I'm sure, will be sacrificing here with the man at first base.
The shortstop, Pokey Reese.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner, Cesar Crespo, going down to first base to run for Youkilis.
Pinch runner at first base, Cesar Crespo, number 31.
So Bob Shepard announces Crespo into the game. At first base, Pokey Reese stands in as a throw over, and Crespo back to the bag. A-Rod in on the grass at third base. Pulls it back and takes ball one.
Now, Pokey tried to bunt last night, and the Yankees wouldn't let him. They ended up walking him.
Johnny Damon on deck as the Red Sox try to move Crespo along here. The runner at first with a good lead. And the throw over. Crespo diving back. Cesar Crespo getting into his 52nd game with the Red Sox, a possible 77.
That surprises me. I didn't realize it was that high.
Yeah, 52nd game. Coming in very late in games quite a bit, but nevertheless, a lot more games than I thought. He's pulling back again, and another ball. 2-0 to Pokey Reese. A-Rod will now talk with Tanyan Sturtz. Reese bunting down the first base line. It is a fair ball. And Tony Clark flipping to Cairo, covering at the bag. The sacrifice. 3-4. And the put out at first base. Up to second base goes Crespo.
That ball was bunted pretty hard by Pokey Reese, but Tony Clark took no look at second base. He just wanted to make sure one out at first. Got that out. So Reese is successful in getting Crespo to second on the sacrifice. It's almost a line drive, this bunt here by Pokey Reese. And I'll tell you what, if Clark spins around a second, you got a close play.
Here's Johnny Damon with potential go-ahead run in scoring position for the Red Sox here in the 12th inning with one down. Damon has reached base once tonight. That was in the 7th when he was hit by a pitch. And the strike to make it 1-1. Tanyan Sturtz, the 6th Yankees pitcher of the night. Away, and it's 2-1. Red Sox with action in the pen. Curtis Laskonic up in the Red Sox bullpen. Red Sox have used 4 pitchers tonight, and again down a pitcher in the bullpen with Scott Williamson not here. Now back and hit off the fencing of the Red Sox dugout right in front.
A broken bat for Johnny Damon. That sent Mike Timlin quickly down those steps. Two to Johnny Damon. Crespo at second base. Red Sox trying to salvage game 3 of this 3-game series into the 12th, tied at 3. And Sturtz backing off. Damon backing out. A 2-2. Damon lifts it towards short left, falling fast, and it's in for a hit in front of Sierra. Wow.
Crespo to third. It looked like he pulled up awfully early.
Thank you very much, Ruben Sierra. I mean, one more step, and he's got that ball easy. He just stopped.
And Crespo to third. Damon reaching at first with his first hit of the night.
Certainly the ball up in the air quite a long time now. Sierra looks like he's going to have a pretty easy play of it, but he stops. Lets it drop in front of him. And a break for the Red Sox. Now first and third and one out.
And the go-ahead run 90 feet away is Cesar Crespo. And Mark Bellhorn batting here in the 12th inning, tied at 3. 0 for 5 tonight is Bellhorn as they check on Damon at first, back in time.
Trot Nixon has come out on deck to hit Ortiz's spot.
Much of this Yankee Stadium crowd has stayed here into the 12th. Starts backing off. Posada going back and forth. Now he's ready, and the pitch. Popped up in the infield. Right side, Cairo coming onto the infield grass to make the catch. Route number 2, and that's a big out. Unable to get the runner in from third, and we'll get a pinch hitter, as you mentioned, and Trot Nixon coming up.
Yeah, and you got a great matchup here for Nixon against Tanyan Sturts in his career. .429 with a home run, 15 for 35.
Number 7, Trot Nixon. Number 7.
And Nixon taking over here as Ortiz had been run for by Gabe Kapler. Now Nixon batting in this spot with Crespo at third base. Damon at first. And 2 down here in the top half of the 12th inning. Strike 1 to Nixon.
Shots him with a split-fingered fastball.
That's starting the first 2 games of the series, 3 for 8 in the series against the Yankees. Pinch hitting here in the 12th. Damon takes off at first, and he's to second as Nixon takes strike 2. Hurts a pitch away from getting out of this jam as Nixon digs in down 0-2. In the dirt, Posada able to smother it.
What a job. Yeah, what a job by Posada. Tried to get the split-fingered fastball, trying to get Nixon to chase a bad pitch. And you got to have confidence in your catcher to do that. Bouncing out in front of home plate. Posada doesn't try to catch it, just block it. Crespo has to stay at third.
The 1-2 to Trot Nixon. Fly ball flared to left field, falling fast. Out goes Jeter to run it down. He goes flying into the crowd after making the catch. Derek Jeter diving into the seats to make the catch, and he is injured. And he hold on to the baseball, and apparently he did. As the Red Sox come off the field, and Jeter really in rough shape. An unbelievable catch from Derek Jeter to keep this game tied at 3. Wow. We are tied at 3 as we head to the last half of the 12th inning.
Well, a great play by Derek Jeter to keep this at a 3-3 game. This ball was probably going to be a fair ball off the bat of Trot Nixon, slicing away from Jeter. Jeter will make the catch, I believe, in fair territory, and then go about 4 rows back as he hits the wall. Yeah, that's going to be a fair ball, and then head first into the stands. Jeter pops up with a cut on his chin, a mouse under his eye, but he has the baseball for the final out.
Defensive changes for the Red Sox. Mark Bellhorn now at third base, moving from second to third. Cesar Crespo, who pinch run, takes over at second base. And Curtis Lescanic into the game.
23rd appearance overall, his 4th for the Red Sox. We're Tuesday in the game against the Yankees, an inning in the 3rd.
Here's Miguel Cairo taking a strike. Cairo coming into the game in the 10th inning. 281, 3 homers, and 18 runs batted in.
not in the on-deck circle right now. He may be getting worked on. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out and hit.
And
no, he's
going to be Giambi to left center field off the bat of Cairo. That is back, and it will one-hop the wall. Damon overruns it, picks it up, is headed for third as Cairo. The throw is cut off, and Cairo into third with a leadoff triple to begin the last half of the 12th inning.
Well, an unlikely source here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Miguel Cairo with the leadoff triple into that gap. Death Valley here in Yankee Stadium. Out to the 399. It bounces, stays in play. And because it stays in play, Cairo gets to third base. Wow. That's all you can say of what's happened in this game.
This has been unbelievable.
Unbelievable game. Now Giambi comes out to pinch hit. And you think at this point the Red Sox are probably going to have to load the bases. You got Giambi and Sheffield, and then you got A-Rod coming up. So we'll see how they attack this.
Dave Wallace out to talk to Leskanic. The first appearance of the series for Giambi. And the infield in to talk to Dave Wallace. Like the outfield is coming in. Johnny Damon working his way in from center field.
They're calling in Kevin Millar, it looks like, from right field. You know what they're probably doing here, Don? They may be bringing an extra infielder in. Is what they're going to do. They're going to use 5 infielders.
They switch the gloves on him from the outfield to the infield.
Yeah, they're going to put Millar at third. Bellhorn is going to be over there at shortstop. Pokey Reese is going to be up the middle. They're going to put a shift on now with the Giambi at the plate. So you're going to see 3 players on the right side of the infield, 2 on the left. Here's your 3 Red Sox. Here's Millar that's come in from right field. So you got 2 outfielders and 5 infielders. And Manny is out there in somewhere in nowhere's land. He's just looking to find out where to go.
Head towards left center while Damon moves over into right center. Actually more towards right for Damon. As we see the Red Sox alignment here in the last half of the 12th. Third base and nobody out. The first appearance of this series for Giambi. This is high, ball 1.
Now Giambi, a dead pull hitter, as you can see, pretty much not so much in the outfield, but definitely in the infield.
Giambi swinging a tough pitch, and it's 1-1. He has not had a lot of playing time lately with the stomach virus situation for Giambi. Getting into his 55th game of the year, a possible 77. Just a .237 batting average for him this season. Strike over the inside corner. Giambi looks back, and it's now 1-2. There is Sheffield waiting on deck. Red Sox with 5 infielders. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Leskanic strikes him out.
That's a good breaking ball from Leskanic there. He threw him a couple of that at bat that completely fooled Giambi. We'll see how the Red Sox are going to play this. Millar's still looking to find out where he's going now. Now it looks like Millar, they're going to kick the same shift on except put Millar over in first base.
now may want to change gloves.
Well, he's got a first baseman's mitt, so if he's going to go to second base, he can't use that, I guess. He's got to use a smaller glove. He can't use the first baseman's mitt at second.
So now it'll be 2 on the right side and 3 on the left side this time for the Red Sox, with Sheffield coming up. 2 for 14 in his career against Leskanic.
Probably the first time in David McCarty's career he's played second base.
Leskanic pitch hits Sheffield. Second time he's been hit today. Pedro hit him in the first. Leskanic hits him in the 12th.
Around here with A-Rod?
I don't.
I'd put A-Rod on and then take your chances with Crosby.
In this situation, there's no way you can let this guy beat you.
No. Now Millar's got his outfield glove. He's going back to the outfield. McCarty's, I'm sure, going to go back to first base. It's going to be more of a regular setup here for the Red Sox.
The defense shifts batter to batter. Unbelievable. I'm looking for an adjective and I'm just not finding it. He will hold on, or go over rather, towards first base. Sheffield on at first. At third, the potential winning run, which is all they care about in Cairo, tripled at the beginning of the inning, and they will indeed put A-Rod on.
Yeah. Torrey was out talking to the umpire, you know, about Sheffield being hit again, and the umpire saying, I don't think it was intentional. Now, there have been no warnings given in this game. You know, he was hit earlier in the game by Pedro Martinez, and Torrey was out earlier in this game talking to a number of the umpires, trying to get maybe a warning to be called, but it never did. So we're going to have another bases loaded situation.
Cairo at third, Sheffield up to second, and A-Rod. As a result, the intentional walk down to first. They're going to switch it up again here for Crosby. And McCarty will change gloves again.
Why not leave McCarty at first base and let
Millar's coming back in again.
Let Millar play that second base position instead of McCarty? I mean, it'd be much easier for him to make a throw, wouldn't it? If there was a ground ball to second base, wouldn't it be easier for the right-hander to make the throw home and keep McCarty in his comfortable spot over at first base?
It's not going to be the case here. Millar will be at first. McCarty in the middle with 3 Red Sox infielders on the right side for Crosby coming up. Potential winning run 90 feet away. With 1 out in the bottom of the 12th inning, tied at 3. Pedro Crosby's been in the game since the 9th. He was a pinch runner. Ball 1. The 1-0. Popped up foul. Backed it out of play. 1-1.
Because not only are there 5 infielders now, but that outfield, which consists of Damon and Ramirez in the gaps, very shallow.
All 5 infielders ready to limber that grass all the way around. The 1-1 to Crosby. Inside low. 2-1.
Looked like Crosby was thinking about trying to get hit by that breaking ball. He'll stay there a long time before moving out.
Leskanic 2-1. Crosby grounds it foul outside of first, and it's 2-2. Varitek out to talk to Leskanic. The Yankees last left the bases loaded in this game in the 9th inning. 2 on in scoring position in the 10th inning. A potential winning run at third base in the 9th, again in the 10th. They've got him here again in the 12th, and Cairo had a leadoff triple. He's there with 1 out in the inning, and the base is now loaded. And 2-2. Ball 3, and there is no place to put Crosby with a full count now. Bases filled with Yankees here in the last half of the 12th, tied at 3. An epic battle tonight between the Red Sox and Yankees. 3-2 is grounded to short. Reese will come homeward. They get the force there. And a big out. Reese coming to the plate for out number 2.
They really didn't need all the fancy ship there because the ball is right at Pokey Reese at shortstop. He'll get the force play. Cairo coming in hard at home plate to Varitek. Watch him kick Varitek to make sure he can't complete a double play. Varitek takes a peek back at Cairo after this. It's almost like going into second base and breaking up a double play. See him trying to take the feet right out from Varitek. So now everybody back again in their normal positions.
Sheffield at third base now as Bernie Williams stands in. Swing and a miss. Bernie Williams 0 for 5 tonight. 2 flyouts, 2 groundouts, and a strikeout. Potential winning run. Barry Sheffield at third. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. And Varitek out to talk to Leskanic.
That's back-to-back breaking balls that Williams has not had good swings at. Varitek out to have a meeting with Leskanic, decide on what they're going to do with Bernie here on the 0-2 count.
Time called. Bernie Williams backing out. Now back in again. Leskanic's 0-2 pitch. Williams strikes out. And Leskanic gets out of the incredible jam in the bottom of the 12th inning. The Yankees waste a leadoff triple by Cairo. We're headed for the 13th, tied at 3. Defensive changes for the Yankees. Urban Sierra moves into right field for New York from left. And Alex Rodriguez moves from third base to shortstop. Pretty good backup shortstop here late in the game for the Yankees in the 13th inning.
And how about your third baseman, Gary Sheffield, who started his major league career as an infielder?
Comes into third base. And Crosby is now in left field for New York, moving from center to left. Bernie Williams is in center field. And the Yankees lose their DH as a result. Tanyan Sturtz with the pitch to Ramirez to begin things here in the 13th inning. If you were to recap this game over the last few innings, where would you begin?
Don, I was just looking at the scoreboard. It's unbelievable on my scorecard. The bases loaded, 1 out, no runs for the Yankees. Second and third, 2 outs, no runs. Bases loaded there, nobody out, no runs. The Red Sox on the other side, bases loaded, nobody out, no. It's amazing. Absolutely unbelievable game. We've seen outfielders come in to play infield. We've seen first basemen go to second base and change gloves.
Twice. And a 2-1 to Ramirez. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-2.
We've called triple plays when it's only been 2 outs. There's been everything's going on here tonight.
Derek Jeter flying into the stands, leaving the game.
Yeah, about 5 rows deep. Like he was shot out of a cannon.
The 2-2 to Ramirez. Manning jacks it to left field. Crosby going back, looking up. It is gone. Manny Ramirez has hit a solo home run to open up the 13th inning to put the Red Sox on top 4-3.
That is the 8th career home run against Tanyan Sturridge for Manny Ramirez.
The second home run of the night.
Pipe home run this time for Ramirez, just clearing that wall off that camera position, it looked like. Manny before that at bat, 371 against Sturridge with 7 home runs, make it 8.
Now the Red Sox look to obtain some insurance here in the top half of the 13th inning. Varitek with a big cut, and it evens the count at 1-1. Punched at it, and Varitek down 1-2. Evan Millar waiting on deck. Leadoff home run by Manny Ramirez to open up the 13th inning. Varitek strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, out number 1 in the 13th.
Manny with his 2nd home run, the 2-run home run back in the 6th inning that really got the Red Sox a little momentum in this game to get him back in it. And then Manny with the go-ahead home run here in the 13th inning.
Takes strike 1 from Tanyan Sturridge. Sturridge, the 6th pitcher tonight for New York. Into his 2nd inning of relief. On the ground, deep 3rd. Sheffield just into the game at 3rd. A high throw, and Millar safe at first base.
Sheffield certainly looked like an outfielder coming in to play the infield on that throw. He made a pretty good play on the backhand, but once he released it, you could see right away it was not going to be anywhere near target. There's the backhanded play by Sheffield with that big outfielder's glove, but the throw nowhere near first base. Amazing he didn't throw that like an outfield, like over the top. He tried to throw it sidearm.
First base with 1 out in the inning. David McCarty doubled back in the 7th inning. As a hit tonight, the Red Sox with 10 hits, the Yankees with 8.
Sometimes second baseman David McCarty, left-handed second baseman.
Charge to Sheffield at 3rd base, the 2nd miscue of the night for the Yankees. And after all the error troubles the Red Sox had through the first 2 games of this series, they are error-free so far tonight into the 13th inning. Three and 1 to McCarty.
I tell you, you're right, Don. You'd have to watch this game from the beginning to be able to recap it all.
I was going to attempt to do it last inning and then realized it was impossible. Ball 4 to McCarty, and Sturridge has given up a walk here with 1 out of the inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd. And now Stottlemyre coming out.
There's nobody throwing down in that bullpen for the Yankees. Prince is the only guy they got left down there.
We have some news on Derek Jeter, and we'll watch the play first and then tell you what's up with Jeter. And again, this would have been a fair ball. Right back into the seats on the dive, and he comes up. A laceration to his chin, bruised right cheek, a bruised right shoulder, and they're headed for x-rays on the cheek.
It looks like it was already starting to swell a little bit as he was coming off the field.
Cesar Crespo on the ground towards second base. Cairo to second for one, on to first. It's a double play to end the inning. But the leadoff home run by Manny Ramirez puts the Red Sox on top 4-3. It's on to the last half of the 13th from Yankee Stadium.
Sure smells like spring, and Downey's Toyota is ready with more than 300 new Toyotas on the lot. We're Maine's #1 Toyota dealer, and we're ready to put you in a new Toyota. You can't beat that new car smell, but we can beat any advertised deal in Maine. Come take a test drive and get that Toyota feeling. Catch the excitement and the smell of sawdust as our huge showroom expansion continues. Call 1-800-TOYOTAS or visit us across from Super Walmart and Brewer. Downey's Toyota. Check anywhere you wish first, but sniff us out last.
On June 4th, my big brother was sentenced to 7 years in prison for a gun crime. That day, he sentenced me to 7 years without my best friend.
When you commit a gun crime, your family pays the price.
On September 15th, my son was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a gun crime. That day, he sentenced me to 10 years of worrying if my baby is okay.
When you commit a gun crime, your family pays the price.
Over and over again. Sunday, Hamilton versus Calgary at 6 on NESN. Catch up when you wake up each morning with Sports Desk. Tune in NESN anytime from 5 to 9 a.m. for NESN's 15-minute rotating sports update. Sports Desk on NESN. Our sportscast on your schedule 7 days a week.
Back at Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox now on top 4-3. Bottom half of the 13th inning. Posada, Clark, and Sierra scheduled to bat here for New York in the last half of the 13th inning. And Leskanic, who somehow managed to get out of the 12th inning unscathed after the leadoff triple by Miguel Cairo, is back out there for the 13th inning with the Red Sox on top.
Both those guys long out of this game, Timlin and Ortiz.
Posada's been on base 4 times tonight. 2 walks, a home run, and a double. The home run was a solo shot back in the 5th inning off Pedro Martinez. Long ago tonight, gave the Red Sox 7 innings. And a strike, and it's 1-1.
Just to recap Leskanic's last inning, the leadoff triple, then a strikeout. He hit Sheffield, an intentional walk, a ground ball to Reese de Veritek, and then the strikeout.
On the ground and foul, and it's 1-2 to Posada.
That much of this game I can recap. Don't push me past that point. It's a classic battle here tonight.
The Yankees trying to push the Red Sox further away. The Red Sox beginning the day 7.5 games back of the New York Yankees. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Leskanic strikes out Jorge Posada. 1 down in the last half of the 13th inning.
Tell you what, he's had some bad-looking swings against that breaking ball of his. Bernie Williams last inning, and now Posada down and in with the hard breaking ball.
Here's Tony Clark, who hit a 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning off Pedro Martinez, his 6th home run of the year. Swinging and missing at the first pitch. Clark. Ruben Sierra waiting on deck for New York.
Paskonic with experience in closing out games. He was doing it a year ago.
Softly grounded off the mound is Leskanic. He plants and throws 2 down.
Ball dies a little bit in front of home plate. Leskanic, who's falling off toward first base, has to regroup. Strong throw to first to get the second out. Plenty of time to get Tony Clark.
So 2 down in the last half of the 13th inning. Ruben Sierra, who came on into the game in the 9th inning to pinch hit, struck out, and then batted in the 11th inning and flied to right. 0 for 2 so far. Strike 1 to Sierra. The Red Sox after the game will charter to Atlanta to begin the 3-game weekend series with the Atlanta Braves.
And with a win would certainly give them new life. It's a win they desperately need.
Sierra chops it up the middle and into center field. The Yankees are still alive with 2 down here in the last half of the 13th inning. Sierra with a 2-out single, well placed.
Right back up the middle for Ruben Sierra. Big strikeout on Sierra early in this ball game, but this time comes through with the 2-out base hit to keep things alive for the Yankees.
This is where it gets interesting here, because now you have Cairo at the plate. After Cairo would be the pitcher spot.
Yeah, Flaherty's come out on deck.
We've lost the DH, and Flaherty has come out as they forfeit the DH at the time to put Williams in center field. As this one is car foul back to the backstop.
Red Sox outfield deeper than normal right now because you want to make sure you don't allow that man at first base to score on something in a gap. Johnny Damon very deep in center field. Because Cairo last time went out to the Death Valley at 399 for the triple.
And a triple that led off the last half of the 12th inning. And Cairo unable to score, the Yankees in the inning. Strike, and it's 0-2 quickly to Cairo. Bottom of the 13th inning with 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. 1-2 to Cairo, missing away. The outfield deep and straight away. Lead off first base for Sierra. The 1-2 pitch. Foul back.
The breaking ball was not the real sharp one we have seen from Leskanic for most of this game. That one stayed out over the plate, but Cairo fouled it straight back.
The Red Sox at the top step of the Red Sox dugout. Everybody lined up there ready to come out. Leskanic with the 1-2 pitch. Line to right center field. Millar on the run. He won't get there. It gets through to the track of the wall. Sierra is running. He's coming around third. And the Yankees have tied the score with 2 outs in the bottom of the 13th inning at 4. Unbelievable.
Well, Miguel Cairo had the triple to lead off the 12th inning, and now with 2 strikes, even with the Red Sox outfield deep. And the reason they're deep is not allow that to happen. It happens anyway. The ball gets past Millar, and
John Flaherty, who had pinch hit for Sturts. First base is open. You have the runner at second, but of course Sheffield on deck. And Flaherty in on the right side here. The potential winning run now in scoring position in Cairo. And the strike to Flaherty. Flaherty 3 for 7 against the Scanic, 429 in his career.
And that's everybody off the bench used now by Joe Torre.
Red Sox with action in the pen. And Bronson Arroyo is up. Scheduled to be tomorrow night's starting pitcher against the Atlanta Braves. In the dirt, Veritek to his right. There were 2 outs and down to their last strike. A double for Miguel Cairo that scores Sierra, and we are tied at 4. And the 1-1 to Flaherty. 2-1. Veritek will head out. We'll talk to the Scanic with a count of 2-1. Both teams with 4 runs. Both teams with 10 hits. The Yankees have committed 2 errors tonight. The Red Sox do not have an error. The 2-1. Up again, and it's ball 3, 3-1. Sheffield waiting on deck. With 2 outs in the last half of the 13th inning. Flaherty hits it in the air to left field, back up, and it'll one-hop the wall, and the Yankees will win it in 13 innings. A crushing defeat tonight for the Red Sox, and the sweep by the New York Yankees. They win it 5-4 in 13 innings.
Got to figure it comes down to a situation where you have the pitcher hitting in the game. A pinch hitter for the pitch, and John Flaherty ends it. And you can see the way the Red Sox are walking off this field, completely beaten after these 3 games.
A devastating loss, to say the least, here tonight in New York. As you look into that dugout, it reminds you a little bit of Game 7, the way they are amazed by what has taken place here tonight at the end.
Play of the game is brought to you by Foxwoods Resorts and Casino, and John Flaherty with 2 outs in the 13th inning, hitting in the pitcher's spot in the batting order, drives in Miguel Cairo, who tied the game with a double.
The Red Sox dropped to 8.5 games back in the New York Yankees. The Yankees returning the favor as the Red Sox swept here earlier. The Yankees sweep them here. This time Sturts the winner, 3-0. The Scanic the loser, 0-4 on the season. For Jerry Remy, Don Orsillo saying so long from Yankee Stadium. It's now time for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings.
Thank you, Don. Devastating is the word. What else can you say about this?
This
It's crushing.
I mean, I had something to say before they lost, and this was an incredible game.
It was an incredible game. There was so much to talk about in this game, and we will. One thing you got to talk about leading off is Millar should be further back in right field.
Yeah, I don't even know. Was that ball crushed? I don't know. It's hard to say. We've got to see it again.
It's irrelevant if Flaherty hits the double because both runs score anyway.
Yeah.
But
I was ready to say...
2 strikes. It looks like Leskanic is going to cruise through this.
Yeah, this was a great win, and now it's a devastating loss. This could have propelled them and forgotten about a lot of things. You and I were sitting here saying it's going to be like Labor Day last year, the win in Philadelphia that really turned them around. This was going to be that kind of win. Instead, it's that kind of loss. I mean, you go down to Atlanta, stunned. I don't even know what to say.
8.5 games back. They haven't been this far back since the end of the 2002 season. We got a lot to talk about, and not a lot of it good. But it was an amazing game down in New York. The Red Sox are swept. Just don't get swept, we said. They were swept by 4.
Do it for the summertime.